What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pub. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, microphone check. Here trying to learn a good damn song. Got the microphone all screwed up. Right. Sorry. As usual, cluster F of a beginning. Here we go. Microphone check. All right. Here we go. Tesla rocks. What's up, buddy? Hi, Last Dance. Hello, George. Biscuit Vapes. Leafed Lip. What's up, man? Good to see everybody. All right. Welcome. It's just working out a few kinks here on the guitar. I'm going to show you a few tunes that use this thing here. It's called a capo. The capo takes the nut and moves it to any place you want on the neck. So it gives it a nice higher pitch sound. Obviously, it's higher than the regular one. Right here, brother, it's basically 6 o'clock. Finbar, welcome. And hi, Sammy Cat. Great tune, Last Dance. So easy to fuck it up. Great tune. And hey, what's up, brother? Okay, let's try this one. Another great capo song. Hold on, we gotta get that capo right. Not right. Great tune. Sounds so cool with the capo. Big capo guy. I love him for some stuff, but they're made for specific tunes. So you can play everything. You could play Here Comes the Sun without one. Yeah, that was Free Fallin'. Running Down a Dream. I'm sure I can, buddy. Yeah, I've never tried it. Let's check out the tabs real quick. 76530. Hold on. It was a beautiful day. The sun beat down. A little runaway. I was driving. Great tune. Free Bird. Yeah, Free Bird's a classic one. What's up, LDG? I don't know if it's the most requested one anymore. Hey, cup of tea. There's a lot of stuff that's cool. There's a new song called "Your Sex Is on Fire." I like that song. I've heard that done acoustically. Classic, good, modern song. All right, I'm a little fired up. Let's do a shot. Shot, 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 shot. All right. Gonna do a whipped cream shot to start. LDG in the house. What's up, buddy? Yeah, first time. I've never really tried to play that before. Let's storm the Pitbull. Who's Spock? Fuck, Georgie. Hurt. Yep. Wokeness. Wokeness is a bad thing, man. That's a good 99-cent right there. Keep them in the freezer. Smirnoff whipped cream. They're only 60 proof. Not very strong, but Dippy Derek, what's up, bro? Yeah, so we've had a lot of shit going on. Damn, we got some. Hey, look, yeah. Happy Dog. Your sex is on fire. Yeah. I thought he was going to say, yeah, good tune. Of course not. What was I thinking? Yeah. That burning sensation. 2 weeks on CPAC, and maybe you'll be all set. You stand corrected. Not bad, Finbar. All right. All right. I like it. It's this guy, what's his name? Jimmy Carr, British comedian. He told a joke that he might get canceled for it because, well, first of all, it mentions the World War II and the Holocaust, which, general rule of thumb, just stay away from that. Bad realm to be joking about no matter what, whether or not the joke is funny. Just not good. And the joke was about gypsies or Roma or Romani, whatever the proper thing is to call them now. But look up the joke. I don't know. Maybe I'll tell it later after I have a few more pops in me. And also Whoopi Goldberg, mind you, some might say a Jewish name. I don't know. What do you know? But also made a joke regarding, not a joke, a statement about the Holocaust and regarding race. And she was suspended for 2 weeks for it. He's been pushing the jabs. No kidding, Finbar. Okay. Well, I mean, that's fine if he wants to push the jabs, but I like it that he's pushing the limits on comedy, you know? Pushing the jabs is one thing. Pushing mandatory jabbing, I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Not a bad joke, right? Biscuit. Whoopee Cushion. Yeah, her real name was like Karen or something, like very, very average, to tell you the truth. Tax avoider. I didn't know that. Cup of tea. Okay. Well, I mean, you can't avoid taxes because they'll catch your ass. Trust me. Everyone who's ever tried knows. Yeah, I think it is Karen. It might be spelt with a C and a Y or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, she used to be somewhat funny. They did a roast of Whoopi Goldberg in the around 1993, I think. And her boyfriend at the time, I think he was her boyfriend, maybe he wasn't. Ted Danson wore blackface to the roast. Fucking idiot, man. You got to see pictures of that. It did not a good look for old Teddy boy. I mean, women thought he was attractive and he was with Whoopi Goldberg. So, hey, different strokes for different folks, Queen Anne. Not sure what that means, bud. The dude. What is up, the dude? Happy Dog's here. I'll light up this little number. Lit my last number. Walk to the road. Last dance with Mary Jane. That is nice. The dude, I like it. The dude knows Happy Dog, and the Happy Dog knows the dude. And clearly the dude is a fan of the dude. Oh, man, that's nice. She's strong. Yeah. Justin Trudeau. Yep, I've seen that. Brontmark. Okay, cool. Live leak. Old school live leak dude here. Welcome, man. Any old live leakers are welcome. In fact, I think Hayden thinks this is sort of a refuge for old live leakers to come and vent, as well as anybody else, Clarence Thomas, no kidding, huh? Cool. I'm glad to see you guys know each other. I don't remember that name. Oh, is it bad to continually charge a phone after it's completely charged? Any of you tech guys out there? I didn't think it mattered, but let me know if you think otherwise. Need an ashtray. There we go. Trying to use ashtrays and not just ash wherever my fucking hand happens to be. Ooh, that's nice. All right, back to current events. Whoopi. Fucking Meghan McCain had said what she said. Do you think she would have gotten a 2-week suspension? Hell no. No motherfucking way. She'd be gone. But them's the breaks. What's up, Paul? Something went down with fucking GoFundMe, where was a page started for Canadian truckers, and then GoFundMe was going to redirect the funds. People can, nobody should be suspended. And truly, Last Dance, as if we didn't know where Whoopi came from before, she's fucking obviously left and has been pushing that for decades, that's her beliefs. She clearly isn't anti-Semitic, and it might have been a misstep or misspeak, you might say, or ignorance on her part. But yeah, I mean, cancel culture eating their own is the dumbest thing ever, And this guy, Jimmy Carr, with that joke about gypsies, people are fucking horrified. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, he's not black, but, if he was, that might help him, because, that helps some people who get in the weeds, like Dave Chappelle. But thankfully, Joe Rogan's, the CEO of Spotify, is standing by him. earlier I retweeted a Travis Tritt, I believe is his name, country artist. He was lamenting on the fact that these artists from the 60s and 70s who stood up for rights and freedom and protest and freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, but now they're fucking they prefer to cancel somebody for a show that is made for entertainment. It's not that Joe Rogan ever tries to come off as though he's giving some kind of fucking medical advice. You know, he's just having some fun up there and giving his opinion. Dana Rogan, head of the UFC, or he was, I think he might be just a consultant now, but guy's got more money than, you know, he's rich. Maybe not like Elon Musk rich, obviously, but he's got plenty of dough. Joe Rogan, Dana White said, essentially, after Rogan talked about using ivermectin as well as non-something antibodies, non-clonal, I think it's called, that they couldn't be found anywhere. You couldn't find this shit for treatment. It was just like not available. Dana Rogan's questioning that in an interview. Dana White doesn't have a show. But yeah. But you know, he's right. And they're just questioning things. They're talking, you know. People aren't going to believe what's force-fed to them about every single thing that the government has to say, whether it's regarding vaccines or treatments. And maybe just give people accurate scientific information and let them make their own decisions. You know, and that goes for people who are making up outlandish claims about them as well. There are problems with the vaccines, and there are good things about it as well, but forcing people to do things like that and not just allowing them their own freedom of choice is, with this vaccine in this moment, in this time, with this virus. Okay, so I understand there are vaccines that people are mandated to get, and those, you could say, are a lot more trustworthy and people are a lot more comfortable with over the years. I saw that, Tesla Rocks. That was a good meme. If Joe Rogan does, yeah, that was a good one. It was a good meme. Solid meme there. And I saw that meme as well, Happy Dog. Storm the Pitbull, I've seen that on a shirt that Drone Tech wore. It's like everything now we say is basically a meme or a t-shirt. Did she really do that with Chuck Berry and John Lennon? That is horrible. And I think Chuck Berry does have probably the best rock and roll Christmas song ever by far. I don't know. I think Rogan, I respect him. He's going to stick around on Spotify, but if he went out back on his own, charged 10 or 15 bucks a month, I think he'd do just fine. People would take pride in supporting him. And the fact of the matter is, when you're supporting Spotify, you're not just supporting him, you're supporting a lot more. Yeah, augmented reality, you'd have to maybe spread out a little on that, get into that a little, Storm the Pitbull, by what you mean. As I've often said with the COVID-19 thing, I mean, I do think it exists. I know there are people who thinks it's all a huge fucking scam, but with COVID, they're treating it like a public health problem and trying to like push the herd in one direction, expecting that apparently there's going to be nobody out there who's going to question things, and no free thinkers who might want to look deeper into things, and even talk about these things. Where'd fucking lighter go? And I think that was a mistake with COVID-19. It started out with the masks. Just wear a mask. Doesn't matter what mask it is. Anything. Fucking wear the loosest, crappiest piece of shit mask and you're A-okay. No, that does nothing. Now, the masks that surgeons would wear into surgery does do something. The good quality masks they do use at hospitals, they wear for a reason. That shit is effective, but walking around in some nasty old cloth mask, I mean, you see some women get fucking makeup all over the inside of them. Shit doesn't work, man. And they're not telling people that. Until now, they're finally saying, yeah, okay, better masks, good quality medical masks do work. And now they're going to give them away, which is cool. But I would say little too late on that one. Do I ride a motorbike? I do not. N95, there you go. It's probably as good as it's going to get. And also, last stance on top of the N95, why, not literally, but figuratively, why it's good is it stays off of your face. It doesn't sit across your face. You need to have space there. I've known a few people who've gotten infections, skin infections on their noses from having to wear masks for like 8 hours a day. People who work in the school systems and people who work in offices. I don't think it's a big deal to wear one for a short period of time, but when you're breathing into those ones that sit on your face and they start to get wet from your own condensation and whatnot, they do breed bacteria, and it will, if you have a tiny lesion on your nose or around your face where it's touching, you can certainly get an infection from it. And, the doctors won't tell you not to wear them, but I've heard from an emergency room doctor say, take it off when you can, as often as you can. Put on dry ones. Keep your face dry and clean, So the N95, yeah. I mean, I've worn N95s for 8 hours a day working in construction. It sucks. I've clogged them up in 2 hours working on a demo job where they start out white and they're dark gray from the dust after a couple of hours. I'll do 3 masks a day in those situations. But it's better than inhaling silica and getting cancer in 15 years. So you do what you can. Of course, a 95 is 95% filtration quality. So, right, smell like onions. What are you, a fucking onion farmer? Or do you eat a lot of onions? I'm not sure. The dude, also known as Mr. Onion. We have mask mandates in Boston, which is, hop, skip, and a jump from where I am. I live outside of Boston, so my town doesn't have them. I don't know of any other towns that have them. A few towns on the North Shore, I think Beverly is one of them. Beverly dropped all of its mandates except for schools. Kids are still wearing masks in schools. And I think for children who do communicate expressively a lot with their faces, I think that's bad. Keeping the masks on kids, man. Now, I know it's the teachers, that are the ones that are at real risk, but yeah, cup of tea. I think there was a guy who got taken off of a plane because he had a pair of ladies' underwear, also known as panties, which, I know that's not a word that some women like. But yeah, Florida, no mask. I don't believe there's anything with masks required in Florida. Now in Boston, they have vaccine mandates to get into any business, a vaccine card. And in fact, I'm pretty sure it's any business, but I know it's restaurants and bars. You have to show your vax card. And of course, the new mayor of Boston sees that, well, hey, there's all these suburban towns right around the city that have no vaccine mandates, no card required, and they have awesome restaurants, and you don't have to pay city prices. So, hello, let's just drive 5 miles out of the city and get a meal for $100 instead of getting a one for $250 in fucking downtown Boston. And we don't have to worry about cards and all of that shit. So now Michelle Wu, her brilliant plan is, let's shop small, shop local, go to the local businesses, she's telling the consumer. But the problem is 30% of them who aren't vaccinated, or maybe they're not boosted, because you have to, if your vaccine is over 6 months old, you have to have a booster. So could be a guy like me who says, oh, let's go out to, Nobu in Boston, like I ever go to Nobu, but let's go there, and no, my vaccine ran out months ago because I didn't get a booster, and I'm probably not gonna. So I couldn't go to a restaurant in Boston. I could go to a restaurant in Somerville, Quincy, Randolph. There's all kinds of great restaurants all around the city, but that don't require shit. So they are killing small businesses with shit like that. And if you guys are familiar with Cambridge, where Harvard University is, it's a bastion of liberal thought, and it's a great town, don't get me wrong, but there masks everywhere, fucking vax cards to do anything, blah blah blah. Which I think that stuff is it's a bummer, and I think it does hurt those businesses. And some restaurant owners say, yeah, well, we already had to card for alcohol. Well, you didn't have to card a 9-year-old for a fucking vaccination card, which they do. If you're over 5, I guess, they have to ask for a vax card. It just seems crazy to even be saying it. Like I myself, when I work, I could go, I got 3 or 4 nice sandwich shops around me. A couple of them are inside the city limits of Boston. I ain't going there when I know I can go to one just the same distance away, not in the city, that's not going to give me shit about it, But, all right, rant done. And it is Mr. Sypher.
Hey, that was a good rant.
Thanks, man.
Excellent rant.
How you doing?
The longer you kept me off, the better the show was.
Well, I figure once I get everyone on, we're rolling anyways. So
yeah, it'll roll fast.
Let's get. Speaking of everyone, this motherfucker, how you doing, buddy?
How you guys doing?
Hey, it's going good.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Cheers.
Fill on coffee cans.
Another Natty Daddy.
Natty Daddy.
I found them for $1.15 at my liquor store.
Those are pretty good. That 8% is pretty good.
It is, and it's like 2 beers worth. You can't beat it.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
So you're getting them for like $1.58. I'm sorry, 58 cents a beer.
No, wow. Like $1.15, I think it was
for 2. So for a 12 ouncer, you're under 60 cents.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. That's a lot of math.
I mean, that's like the old days, 60 cents for a soda. That's awesome, man. Good deal.
50 ounces for $2.50, 8% alcohol. I got another one back there, ready to go.
that's going to be your limit for the night is dose cans?
No, I had one of those last week and ended up throwing up. So we'll see how things go tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't eat though, and that's usually the
empty stomach will do it.
I
Did you
hadn't
eat
eaten
today?
all day. Yeah, I did. So I
Oh,
was like,
good.
I'm gonna eat something. Plus, and then later on in the night, I went over there and did some show prep, if you know what I mean. And I think that's what was the nail in the coffin.
Got things spinning around a little bit.
Well, I didn't plan on just I shut the whole show down, but we were all like hanging out and everything. And I went over there to smoke a cigarette with my wife, and she was outside. She came in the door, and there was two of her. And I'm like,
Yes.
I'm going to bed. And then I tried convincing I laid there for a half an hour trying to convince myself, no, this ain't happening. You only had, because I had one of these and two other beers, and it was like a 5-hour period of time. And I was like, this ain't happening. You're thinking things. And that's when when you try to breathe heavy, take deep breaths, you can get yourself through this. It never works.
So was it pure liquid?
It was. It was
All right. So,
pure.
yeah.
It was pure beer. There was no chunks whatsoever.
Funny, man.
Oh, speaking of chunks, I shouldn't even tell you this, but my wife had a similar. I know I'm painting this household as a beautiful picture, but and the chunks clogged up the drain, and I had to get the chunk.
Get
She's
a chunk plunger.
Yeah.
She wants to make sure she wasn't drunk. It wasn't because she drank too much.
It was something else. It was bad.
Yeah.
Bad food.
Bad yams.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's add a really big yam. Mr. Yam himself, Biscuit Faves. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
How is everybody?
Good.
How you doing, Biscuit?
I'm doing fantabidoza.
Nice. All right.
Sounds excellent.
Good, man. That's good.
Back on the Guinness because the shop didn't have any vodka.
Well, that's their loss and your gain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm deep into the Vodak.
Are you?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, they did have vodka, but it was shit quality, and I refused to buy shit quality.
When I got the medical marijuana card, I went to all medical marijuana for about 10 or 11 days. And it's like, oh, well, maybe I can add back in the vodka to medical marijuana. It's like, oh, shit. So gonna have to find some balances here.
Yeah, there's some. Smokesteve don't seem to have he's got like he can do whatever the hell he wants to do. Apparently,
I think Finbar is confused about which end you threw chunks up.
Oh no, she didn't shit in the sink.
Yeah.
No, it was the middle of the night, and I woke up and I'm like, "What is going on?" And then she's like, "I need your help." She's like, "You're gonna need to click," so she could like wash her hands after she got out of the bathroom. And our bathroom is like our sink is in a separate room from the stool, so she was in there, and I had to go. Oh man, I almost threw up trying to clean up the sink.
Well,
I know how that could go. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. When
You gotta do what you gotta do.
No fun there.
And it was like 2 a.m, so I was like, I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Well, when you're in a trade like mine, you do end up, and maybe we'll get to see our buddy Topple. He deals with it too. You get to deal with some really nasty situations. So you get hardened to that sort of thing. Yeah, it's rough. I'm thinking of one recently that, man, I'm getting nauseous just thinking about it.
Yeah, at least it was my wife's chunks that I was
there you go.
touching my fingers. It wasn't like I barehanded it, but it was still disgusting.
Worst experience I ever had was on it when we went camping with my my daughter's mum, and she had super bad diarrhea, but she didn't realise it while she was asleep in bed, and she made me clean it up.
Well, of course she did. I mean, what was she, like 3 or 4 at the time? You can't make her do it.
No, not Winter. My ex. It was my ex's diarrhea.
Oh, ooh.
Right.
Yeah, I might have drawn the line there. Like, you're on your own.
Yeah.
I'll go sleep in the truck.
Yeah.
But I was kind of under the thumb, and that's why I had to leave that relationship.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
That was the last straw. I can see
No. The
why.
last straw was the yogurt that she accused me of stealing in the fridge.
Oh yeah, the yogurt theft incident.
The old stolen yogurt. That's the end to so many marriages across
Yeah,
the world.
it can do it. It can do it. Yeah.
I drink beer pretty quickly myself, but he may be talking about himself there. But I do drink beer fairly quickly. Their cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean,
I start drinking quickly and then slowly get slower during the
notes
night.
I mean, sometimes at the end of the show, Smokesteve, you are just staring off into Nowheresville.
Oh,
you know?
definitely. It has huge effect on me.
Right.
I'm not impervious. I'm not like fucking Iron Man.
But well, I mean,
I'm getting wasted over here.
Your intake is impressive for sure.
You know, I didn't notice, Aphid Lip, that you were getting there until you just
I didn't think I was either. It really kind of. I think it's when I stood up. Well, and I went and partaked a little bit, and I think that was what put it over the edge. It really was.
Just the way you got up and your look on your face told me that we were at red alert here.
Well, I came back and I was like, I can't leave the camera on because then she can't get a beer because it was only like 9 o'clock here, and I knew she was going to be up for several more hours. So then she'd be in prison because she knew she couldn't get a beer out of the fridge over here. So I knew I had to shut the cam off, and I was like, oh God, hopefully they don't notice me trying to turn my cam off.
I think we did.
Oh, great!
I mean, it was fairly non-dramatic when it happened, but yeah, I recall it. I was still here, hanging out when it did.
Exactly. So I'm going to quickly circle back to
Thank you, Jen Psaki.
Right, the Whoopi Goldberg thing. So is if we can ask this, is to be Jewish a race? Is that considered a race?
I thought it was.
No, it's not a race. That's a religion, isn't it?
It's a religion.
Well, I mean,
it's a religion.
I don't have
like Muslim. Muslim isn't race.
Yeah. I think there's just too much emphasis on the whole race thing to start with. What does it matter?
Because you can be a black Jew, can't you? Surely.
Well, yeah, there are some.
Yes.
I mean, wasn't that a big deal with Hitler? About
the master race.
He made it a race thing.
Blood.
Yeah, but are we gonna let Hitler define the way we view races?
No, but
I'm not arguing with you, Cypher. I'm just saying.
I haven't studied it enough to really know, so I'm open to your ideas to a degree.
In Hitler's mind,
there's a separate word for it,
race.
isn't there? There's anti-Semitic. What's Semitic?
Yeah, that anti-Semitic is.
It's semantic. Sorry,
it's just a euphemism for anti-Jewish.
Well, okay, so is a Mongolian the same race as somebody from China?
Paula?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Or like somebody from South America. They can look just like somebody from Africa. It's hard to tell.
Well, the Dominican Republic, the DR, has some very...
So are they the same race?
Right, like what? David Ortiz from the Boston Red Sox. Was he black?
Yeah, right. Okay, so then you go to the white race, and the Jews have been pretty good with keeping their gene pool, to themselves.
Yeah, we don't like to share our genes.
So what does it mean?
I'm an exception.
Jew?
So
is it to be from Judea or whatever, Jerusalem or whatever the original Jews was from?
Yeah, that's a good question. What does it mean? There are distinct, you might call them racial groups, but let's just say distinct DNA groupings of Jews from East,
In that
Eastern
case, it
Europe, and Northern Africa.
In that
and-
case, it would be race, but you can also be a Jew religiously and be any kind of race.
Yes, exactly.
I guess so. What she said was that he wasn't killing. I guess he wasn't killing a race. He was, because they're not a race. It was essentially what she got in trouble for saying, right?
I mean, in her mind, what she's saying is not unreasonable.
No.
Race means black versus white. That's what she thinks.
Right.
And that's totally legit.
Well,
I mean, I might not agree with it, but
that race is not black versus white. Race
it is in her mind. And
race is a genetic, like a genetic pool of people. Like you can have like the Asians or the Chinese. Then you've got the Japanese. They're similar in their race with the genetics, but they are separate races.
I think there's any number of ways to look at it. I don't think, in this day and age, we have DNA. We don't need these crude concepts of race. So race is obsolete in the age of DNA because DNA is much more precise.
The way I see race is like, it's a bit of a bad way to put it, but it's like a breed of dog.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It's purely based on
we're all humans, but there is subsets of humans.
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing Whoopi said, although it might have upset some people. Nothing she said was worthy. I don't even think you could argue she was wrong. But even if you do argue she was wrong, there's no excuse for suspending her. I mean, that is just so stupid and idiotic. I just can't believe that ABC would get together and all their brain trust would come up with this stupid suspension. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
It is unbelievable.
Wow.
That's exactly where we're at. So, in your mind, Last Dance, did I read earlier that you had said that you would argue with her as her being wrong with what she said? Or
I might argue with her in the same way everybody else has tried to point out that the way Hitler viewed things,
the way Hitler viewed it,
was
then you're
not
viewing
the
it
same
through the eyes of the Nazi, and so
whatever she did was worth correcting, maybe, but not politically publicly shaming.
She's been asking for a lemon pie in her face for decades.
Okay, give her a lemon pie then. I don't know why.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, there's no reason to suspend her. That's
May I please?
Smokesteve, I heard you bring up the Ted Danson incident. She was the reason that whole incident even happened. So she's got a track record with poor decisions when it comes to race.
It was her idea?
Yeah, it was absolutely her idea.
Okay.
And it was a roast of her.
The story I heard it was, and she talked him into doing it and was like, "You're with me, so it's okay." And back in the time, I mean, this was like the mid or late '80s. It was
93, I believe.
Oh, was it? Well, still, even though it seems like a black and white time ago, it was, it wasn't looked at as bad as it would be looked at if you think back at it today.
I mean, did you see it though? He's got like white painted lips. And
of course, I've seen it.
It looks like shoe
I've
polish.
googled that shit. What are you kidding me?
Jet black, dude. I mean, it is dark, dude. It is. I mean, it's horrible.
Ted Danson. What happened to Ted Danson anyway?
He's got a hit show. It's called The Good Life or something.
No, serious?
Yeah, it's a popular show. It's I don't know if it's on. I think it's on Netflix for sure. But The Good Place. That's what it's called.
The Good Place. The Good Place.
He's like I've never watched it, but I get the feeling he's either God or he is like an angel. He's one of the two. He's some good person.
Right.
That used to wear blackface.
I tell you, he plays himself on Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David, and he's a great character on that show as well.
Was he? I never watched that show either.
It's still on. He's very funny. Very
Curb Your
funny.
Enthusiasm. Is that still on?
Still on.
Oh, wow,
Did they make any new seasons?
I don't know. It's very sparse. There might be years between seasons, but I
Mm.
don't think it's officially been canceled.
Hmm.
The black dude, what's his name? JB Smoove. He's a new character involved with the show. Very funny character.
He's funny. Yep.
He's a good one.
He does some commercial now for Caesar.
Tell me about
Several commercials. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty good. Plays that type of comedian. I don't know if I can say much more, but
Yes, I know. I know
it's a
what you
certain type of comedian. That's all I can say. Black dude. Black dude.
Can you name another? Because I don't know who you're talking about. Can you name another comedian that has a similar style?
I could see a little bit of Chris Rock in there. That loud, like bombastic edge. A little bit more of a pimpy side though than Chris Rock. But I don't know. Is that accurate, Altfeed? Liberal?
Yeah, I'd say that's right. He's kind of in Curb Your Enthusiasm, he's kind of a street smart guy.
Yeah.
You know, I forget why he's in the household. I can't remember why he's there.
Larry asks him to move in. I don't know why. You're right. That's
Yeah.
a good question, but it makes for good TV.
It does.
You know, and Larry, in that show, he drives a fucking Prius. He's worth like $300 million. I'm like, come on, dude. Drive a fucking real car, you know? Maybe at least own a nicer car. You don't have to... Prius is nice for maybe your daily driver, but why not have, I don't know, a fucking Maserati or Ferrari or something like Jerry Seinfeld, a bunch of Porsches in the garage, you know?
Yeah.
Like, seems like it'd be a fun thing to do if you have that kind of dough.
Did I hear correct?
Prius is for virtue signaling and nothing more.
Yeah.
Right.
Did I hear correctly that they're gonna ban gas stoves in is it New York City or the whole state?
Berkeley, California banned them. Any new construction in Berkeley, California can't have any gas appliances.
That's ridiculous because gas stoves have always been way better than electric for cooking.
Yeah, not
Well,
only
I
that,
guess
they're
they pollute.
mandating electric baseboard heat
Ah, that's right.
and electric
just
fucking
can't-
water
you can't-
heaters.
You can't get the accuracy that you can get with gas with electric.
Not on a stove. You're right about that. Yeah. But I mean, half the power plants run on diesel. So, I mean, you're still burning a ton of electricity, gasoline.
Methane, though, is supposedly a
fuels.
very potent greenhouse
Then why don't we
gas.
switch to hydrogen?
Hydrogen. How would you transport hydrogen?
In bottles.
Yeah.
In water? I hear there's been technology.
Yeah, there is. You can use electricity to convert your water into hydrogen. They've got like things that go in.
Electrolysis.
You can use solar panel. One solar panel is enough power. Make this device turn water into hydrogen for your cookers.
That's interesting. Hydrogen is pretty. It's pretty explosive.
Yeah.
But,
Wasn't
but
the
the
Hindenburg
thing
film
is though,
with
they can't sell you the water that goes into your home as much as they can methane or electricity, can they?
Methane?
Yeah.
Methane.
How do
Remember
you
that?
say nuclear?
Nuclear.
All right. Cool.
Do you remember that Smokesteve? You'll probably know this. The guy that used to be on Howard Stern, Mr. Methane.
Yeah, I do.
That guy was great.
Do you remember
Like I said, Happy
Ass
Dog, if you
Napkin
make
Ed?
it there, then it won't matter. will
No, I don't think I do.
We don't have to get into Howard Stern characters, but Ass Napkin Ed had a leaky anus, so he always had a napkin on his ass. I distinctly remember a doctor calling in and was like, "Listen, you got to get that looked at, man. Something's wrong here, guy." And he started giving all these medical terms. That was like a classic.
I was watching
Howard
a show
Stern.
called Homes of the Future the other day, last year, I mean, and they had like black pipes that like soaked the sun to warm up the water for 24 hours, and then they had this hydrogen like block thing that made the hydrogen using the solar panels, and then it had more solar panels for electricity. It was completely self-sufficient.
Well, what I always wondered, this was my $1 million idea a long time ago, was in northern climates in the winter, why don't refrigerators have a small vent to the outdoors where they can pull in cold air from the outside rather than trying to use the Freon, the compressor, and the fan and the blower and all that shit that the refrigerator has? Why not just use most people's refrigerators are on an outside wall. If it's 15 degrees out, you don't need anything but just let in the air from the outside into the fridge in some kind of an insulated little mini duct.
That's a good idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It cost you'd have to make all the houses ready for it, though, wouldn't you?
Oh, you
And
could retrofit it.
And you wouldn't be able to have your fridge on an internal wall.
Correct. But I'm still saying there's going to be tens of millions of places where it might work, and it could save some, energy.
They have heating and cooling systems that are similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
That
Heat pump.
go down, all the way down to the cold air or whatever.
Well, they have systems in Massachusetts where something goes down into the earth and gets thermogenic heat or something from the center of the earth. Somehow it's warmer. It can pre-warm.
It doesn't even have to go that far down to get warmer, and you can actually what's the word? It's you can multiply the heat somehow with math or whatever.
Huh. Almost like a step-up transformer, but with heat.
Yeah, it's like you take the small amount of heat that's there, and you can condense it into a high heat.
That's cool. Yeah, I still don't really understand that concept, but definitely interesting.
They made using black pipes again. They was able to like boil water to below freezing outdoor temperatures using a certain gas that boils at a lower temperature.
Freon.
I don't think it was Freon. It was something else.
There's a lot of gases like Freon that do that.
Yeah, R134 and whatever. They're going to change it again.
Whatever it was safe if it escaped into the atmosphere.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of air conditioning technicians just blast the refrigerant into the atmosphere when they're on a roof recharging a system or whatever. They don't give a shit, As long as the EPA isn't anywhere nearby, nobody's going to fucking...
All right. No OSHA, no EPA.
It's all honor system.
I ruined a few creeks in Gainesville, over the decades that I did my pool service business. That nice acid wash of a pool. Let's run this, let's run the fucking acid, sump pump out, hose out to the creek. Anyway. Some minnows died. A small part of my soul died. So what?
Right.
Hey,
this will all come up, when you meet St. Peter. There'll be a reckoning, a balancing.
It's going to come sooner than I want, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're going to live forever. You're going to outlive me.
I'm going to live forever. No, I won't. I won't outlive you.
So what do you guys think about these Canadian truckers?
Man, that is so awesome.
We have one awesome aphid lip.
I don't really know. I don't know what's going on with the trucker thing.
Awesome.
Like, are they Canadians or are they Americans?
Hearing of it.
Canadians.
Are the Canadians Americans?
What's it all?
No, but it doesn't have something to do with America or something. They won't let them in the United States, or they won't let Americans in there or something.
North America per se, but not America.
To evil COVID.
USA.
US and A.
USA.
I think it's an anti-mandate rally is what they're going with here.
That jackass prime minister painted them all as racists and
then GoFundMe.
How can Justin Trudeau call anyone racist after what he did?
Right.
Because nobody it's just the same way as Any politician surrounds himself with.
Do you think he's
people
got away with it because he
say
said
yes
sorry?
and
Oh, sorry, not sorry, but sorry.
Sorry.
A boot.
Sorry.
Sorry.
a fawning
I'm
media,
sorry.
That's all right.
partisan media.
Pawns of the crown, you know.
Apparently,
It's the media's fault.
apparently, there's something that happened in Winnipeg today, where
Winnipeg.
there was another protest there, and a car, I think, ran over or hit some of the protesters. So
It was
Oh,
over
really?
Next to Losapeg.
next to what?
Losapeg.
Instead of Winnipeg, it's Losapeg.
Oh,
Stupid joke.
you're too quick for me, Cypher.
Oh,
You're gonna have to
Wait.
explain all your junks.
way too slow for you, sir.
Oh God, I'm getting a bit shaky with all this beer.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Have some weed. Balance it out.
I'm all right, thanks. I don't do well with
Thank you,
downers.
Happy Dog.
Oh, no. You'd mentioned that before. I'm
Yeah.
actually doing pretty well with it. Except that now I've just added it on to one more of my addictions. It's like, oh, yay. And, now I get to fucking, use THC to knock the shit out of myself in addition to, oh, who's that? That sounded like
There's
Smokesteve.
part of me that thinks that I would do extremely well on Adderall.
Yeah, me too. I considered Adderall would be interesting, enough.
We're back. What did I
We're
miss?
Nothing.
We solve the world's problems.
Drug talk. Drug talk, solving the
I
world's
was just
problems.
saying that I would do very well on Adderall.
Back to the Canadian trucker thing. I don't really know exactly what it's about either, but I do think it's cool because there's a bunch of trucks going down the road and shit. But
Happy Dog has said what it's about in that comment there.
did he?
Yeah.
Canada brought in a 3-week quarantine for coming back from the U.S. and then wanted to make it an interstate thing. Okay.
So if Canadians drove a truck into the United States, they had to quarantine for 3 weeks. Is that what it
I
is?
think that's what he's saying.
That's ridiculous.
There's like a supply chain shortage going on right now. Let's fuck the whole thing up. Sounds
Yep.
like a great idea.
Yeah, not good. Back
Yeah,
in a
that's
sec.
insane because
They're getting contaminated coming across that line.
yeah, I mean, I've heard of this sort of thing where there's in some private schools, like with, high schools and whatever, elementary schools, they're telling the parents and the kids, like, if you go on vacation they were telling them on so-and-so break, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks when you get back. So, parents couldn't go out of state. Like, you can't go to Florida or else you'll have to quarantine after you get back.
What's wrong with tests? Why
I
can't
don't
we
know.
just give them a test before they leave and then let them go on the way when it's positive or negative?
Yeah.
Who knows?
This
Aren't
is
we
the
all
thing.
ready to move on from this COVID
Oh
thing?
yeah, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It's called common fucking sense, and the government ain't got none, have they?
No,
That's right.
they don't.
I'm ready to get back to making out with random dudes. How about you all?
What?
I think now I know why they call it Natty Daddy, because it's taking your.
Daddy, daddy. It's your natural daddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to say, Trudeau seems like a piece of shit.
Yeah, really. I mean,
Yeah, that clown. Did he get reelected? Or is it they get
Yeah.
elected for like 10
Over and
years?
over again, as far as I can tell.
Oh my god.
He's a fappy cowboy.
it's terrible.
You gotta go back and forth. That's the key.
Yep.
When you're fappy, you do.
Until we come to a general consensus with the
Consensus. That's a
both
nice word.
sides are
A euphemism, huh?
dumb.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's bad.
You gotta go
I
back
don't
and forth.
think. I think in the traditional political model that's been exhibited in the past, when there's a seat change at the presidency, then the multiple following elections usually go in the other direction. I think that's what it's going to be looking like for Biden. Does anyone agree with that? That there's going to be
Yeah, I agree.
a Republican wave coming along here?
I mean, I do think that, but the problem is the company line that they push is that the elections are rigged. So, that might put a monkey in their wrench.
They
But
shoot
who
themselves
knows?
in the foot. That would be. That would be
I mean,
so
because
good.
it all comes down to who's motivated. Because that's why it always swings one way or another.
Yeah,
You get somebody and you're comfortable. You're like, oh, I like this guy. I'm not going to worry about going voting. But you hate the guy and you're like, I can't wait to go vote so I can get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
So when you everybody thinks that when a majority of the voting party thinks that there's no use in them going to vote because it's rigged. I never understand that whole rigged election thing. It doesn't seem to work, but we'll see. Maybe it will work. I don't know.
Right.
Just the cult of Trump that they're trying to appease these Republicans.
I'm curious. This last week there was a breakup that happened with what's the little
Pence.
no, well, him too, but he's always kind of been broken up. The other little guy that what's his name?
Fauci?
No, the Republican guy that's been really pumping Trump after the
Young or old?
old.
McConnell?
No, he was friends with the John McCain guy. That guy.
Oh, Lindsey.
Oh.
Lindsey Graham. Yeah, I
Lindsey
guess. And Trump called him a rhino.
Does it even
this
matter who
past-
your president is? Aren't the
Yeah.
Illuminati involved anyway?
No.
I don't know.
Everyone's
Is
involved.
this time to start ragging on Trump? I don't know. Maybe it is.
I don't know. Trump said, and this was the quote, Lindsey, he's a good guy, but he's a rhino. Like, he didn't want to really disparage him because...
Why did he say that? What did Lindsey say something that he didn't?
Because I can't remember exactly. He
it was
he said if
pertaining
somebody did wrong on January 6th, they should be I think that was the extent of it.
It
If
was
they did
regarding-
wrong, they should be prosecuted. I think that was as far as he went.
And it was regarding Trump's considering if he had been reelected, full sweeping pardon for every one of them.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the whole thing
Okay.
is stemming from.
It was funny. Everybody talked about before Trump was elected how he was going to drain the swamp, and some people were skeptical. And then, after he was elected, lo and behold, there was no drainage. And when you actually,
There was a village.
Optimistically skeptical.
okay.
There
He
was a
also
village.
said that Mexico had paid for the wall. Yeah,
And when you looked at,
He took his small hands and took that hose, put it over his shoulder, and he filled that swamp right back up.
when you look at who he kind of wielded power against, it was the only person he ever was interested in protecting was himself, and he never fired any of his cabinet except the ones that he didn't think weren't supporting him, and that was his only
anyone that
criteria.
had anything over him, he fired.
Right. If he didn't do anything with the CIA director or the NSA director, even though he constantly complained, and but when his Justice Department head would do something like not agree to ignore the law, you'd fire him because that's all that mattered. That was all that really mattered enough for him to actually act. So,
And some would argue that the lucky SOB got some of the most important things that they could ever want. Is he got two or three? Three.
Mitch McConnell would argue against that. I mean, he
So
would.
Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, and Amy Barrett.
Yeah.
Amy Coney Barrett, right? So if Ginsburg had retired before she died, when it was the previous president, it would have only been two.
Well, it would have had to have been like
Yeah.
2 years before, because if you remember,
But she was old.
what's his
man.
name died, and there was still like over a
Scalia.
year of Obama's.
Antonin Scalia.
Yes, and there was
What's
over,
his name?
and then Mitch McConnell took a huge risk because you can disagree with it now, but what's the guy that is now the he was going to be the Supreme Court nominee. He's now the
Just Merrick
Merrick
Garland.
Merrick
Garland,
Garland.
yeah.
He was looked at the time. I don't know now if I agree with it, but looked at as more of a centrist than somebody that Hillary Clinton, who was leading in the polls at that time, would have picked. Which
That's
I
right.
still agree that she would have got somebody that was way more liberal than him. But Mitch McConnell took a huge risk in going with no bullshit. We're gonna play this poker game my way, and we're gonna hold out and he won. He ultimately in the long run changed the whole dynamic of the Supreme Court system in the United States with that move.
I like.
The filibuster move?
No, he basically was like, we're not even going to interview him because it was like a year and a half too. It's
Right.
that close to the end of his presidency. So I don't know what the argument was, but they had the majority. So they held out and they won, and it waited till Trump got in office, and then they got Neil Gorsuch.
Right. And I think around this time was when the Republicans changed the filibuster to allow a party line vote 50-50 essentially for Supreme Court nominees.
Correct.
Prior to that, the Democrats had already made it a 50-50 vote, no filibuster for non-Supreme Court judicial nominations.
That's right.
So both sides kind of screwed each other with that one, because
Yeah.
it used to be that you needed to do the protest, the 60-40 vote in it, and it was a lot harder. But also in the old days, a Supreme Court nominee would get a bunch of votes from the opposing side. It wasn't nearly
Right.
as divided as it is now,
Right.
which is a sign of the times, obviously. But
Yeah, it was rare to have a significantly opposed nominee. There were Nixon had one, and he just withdrew him and put somebody else up who was easily approved. And then Robert Bork was like the next guy, and that was kind of the sea change. And after that, there were just there were some easy ones, but there were a lot more contentious ones after that.
oh yeah, and I guess that's true. Mr. Kelsey won. She clearly must have thought Hillary would win, so it wouldn't have been an issue. But yeah, she didn't make it after, so obviously that's what happened.
I don't know. She was pretty. I think she just would have lasted until death took her out.
You don't think she was?
I don't think there was anything political to her staying in or leaving. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
What do you think of Biden saying before he's even really examined people, he was saying it's going to be a black woman? I haven't looked at anybody yet. There could be 80 white women and hundreds of black men, but they're all fucking out because it's only going to be a black woman. So
I don't agree with any form of that decision making, whether it's Academy Awards or putting somebody as the head coach of an NFL team or anything. I think that
it should be irrespective. It should be the one who's most like the best for the job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if there is no qualified candidate that fits the description that somebody is that fills that void that would make the general public happy, then so be it. It always
there is
if there is some good, and if it's a wash, but if they passed over somebody, like for the Academy Awards, for example, if there was some amazing performance by a black person and it was overlooked and they did not get nominated and it was all white people, then I would have a problem with that, yes. But if you blanketly say, oh, well, look, there's 6 whatever, I don't know, I feel like it's more now, but however many Academy Awards they put out, but there's not one, or there's only one that's nominated. Well, what was did they overlook one that was better? Then if that's the case, you got an argument. But if it's just because of a numbers thing worth black versus white, then I just don't agree with that whatsoever.
No,
You can put me on a cross if you want to.
I'll go farther than that. I think it is terrible. It is just terrible to use that kind of reasoning. It's almost like he said the quiet part out loud. I mean, you know what they're going. You know, the identity politics completely dominates the thinking of these particular Democrats. But I can't believe that he would just say out loud, say, "Yeah, just going to give one nominate, a black woman."
I mean, I don't know the history of these. I've seen there's like 6 of them or 7 of them maybe that, and it seems like they're good people. I mean, I don't know the background of them. I'm sure there's probably a black woman that is deserving to take this role.
No,
But if she's just getting thrown up there because it's going to make a group of the population happy, I disagree with. This is like a huge percentage. It's like 15% or so of decision making here in the United States. It needs to go to the person that makes the best decisions.
The first guy to do this was Ronald Reagan, when he said he was going to nominate a female Supreme Court justice and then he nominated Sandra Day O'Connor. So Reagan started this.
Well, it's his fault.
Well,
Exactly.
and Trump had an extremely low amount of women working around him and for him, and some might say it was clearly
But not under him.
But the pick of Amy Coney Barrett was, it's a little out of character for him, but it was probably for a reason, not just for her merits as a judge, although she might be perfect and fine for the job. But I believe Lindsey Graham, there was one in particular African-American woman that is being heavily considered by Biden. Lindsey Graham said something along the lines of, if he picks her, she is more than qualified for the job. I think it's a great pick. And there's no affirmative action involved with that pick. Well, that set off a firestorm among some people. Well, so every other pick is? So, it's like he was trying to say something nice about her, but in turn, when he said that, he offended apparently every other pick that might be considered. But
Lindsey Graham has a history of looking over party lines when it comes to hiring Supreme Court judges and working with the other side. There's parts of me that like Lindsey Graham, and then there's parts of me that are like, what are you thinking, dude?
Yeah, he's fucking.
I always like more the centrists on both sides. Like I like the chick and the dude on the January 6th commission, and I like the chick and the dude on the other side that are going against the
Manchin and Sinema.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely don't like Liz Cheney or particularly Adam.
Do you think they should get censured?
No, that's stupid.
Censured. Oh,
Now, that is just stupid. I mean, but the only reason they're on there is because they agreed to. They're the Republicans that were chosen by the Democrats, not chosen by the Republicans.
Right, but the Republicans had more than they wanted to put more people on that they knew that wouldn't be accepted, just so they could come back and say that this is a biased opinion, from the get-go.
I don't really support anybody that I don't think has my libertarian perspective, and none of those people, including Lindsey Graham, are people that I particularly fond of.
But I'm curious because I know that you're a libertarian, and I'm curious. Are you a fan of Rand Paul?
I'm a big fan of Rand Paul. I'm a huge fan of Rand Paul.
Now, Rand Paul was the recipient of, I think, Trump's greatest line ever. And it was when Rand Paul it was in the presidential debates of, I guess, 2016, and Rand Paul said something about Trump's hair and his complexion and his skin tone. And Trump said, Rand, I haven't spoken at all about the way you look and your appearance, but believe me, there's plenty of material there. It was like, obviously, the guy, I don't know, what's been his most controversial things recently, Rand Paul?
I mean, he doesn't do
Like
it.
going up against Fauci and
Right.
his hypocrisy on asking for money when there's something wrong in his state, some national tragedy, that
Well,
tornado or flood or something that happens in his state, and
when-
then denying
when
it
his
for every other state. I was a big
neighbor-
Rand Paul fan, but I've not
That-
since
that
since
neighbor
Trump
of
got
his-
elected. I'm not.
That neighbor of his that
The lawnmower.
felony assault.
Beat the crap out of him.
What the fuck? That guy was a doctor, and he blindsided him, lifted him up, and then put him down in such a way as to break as many ribs as he could. What an asshole,
Well, he
Rand Paul did that to the other guy.
No, the
the
other
other
way
guy did
around.
it to him.
Yeah, Rand
He was-
Paul got assassinated, man.
he was
I love it.
convicted,
That
though,
sounds
right?
like a
Or
great
pled guilty.
takedown.
I think he was.
Well, he was put on what, you a bad boy,
Well, yeah.
probation for
First
about
offense.
a year. Yeah, something
It's your
like
first assault of a sitting U.S. senator. So
I bet you he went underneath, jacked his shoulder right up into Rand Paul's ribs, and then picked him up and dropped him right on
He
his
knew
back.
exactly how to break those ribs.
That is
You
awesome.
know he did. I would not want to be, felony assaulted by a doctor.
But I love the way
Yeah.
Rand Paul went after Fauci. I mean, he was absolutely right in almost everything he was challenging Fauci with.
Fauci's, a little. Oh, I don't like Fauci, but I'll leave it at that.
So, what makes Rand Paul so great? Oh, food liberal.
I mean, he's as libertarian as they get currently
I'll be
in
right back.
Congress. Since
Yeah,
Justin
he is.
Amash left, there's nobody really you could call a true libertarian left. But he's as close as it gets. He supports most of the things that I support.
What about when something happens in his own state and he's asking for money, and then when something happens in some other state, he's like, "Nope, you ain't getting it."
Yeah, I mean, he's a hypocrite there, but I don't have
So you
I don't have a huge problem with that. That's the least worrisome thing of all the things that I
I
would
get
be
you.
concerned about.
I get you. There's give and take for sure.
So he questions Fauci frequently about the gain of function research that Fauci and the labs that Fauci was the boss of clearly did fund some of that research.
They absolutely did. There is no doubt, and everything Fauci denied was true in the committee. He was dissembling over the exact wording, but basically, yeah, Fauci did fund research that was gain of function research. His argument is that we didn't know that was what we were funding. We were funding something else because our grant application didn't say, it didn't say we were funding gain of function research. But that's what happened when,
But by his denial and his almost, he's essentially trying to create like people are laughing at you, Rand Paul, for you speaking to me this way. I can't really say it another way, but that's what Fauci is attempting to say to him when Rand Paul does have kind of a cocky way of, when he gets into these questions with Fauci, that he's definitely doing a bit of a stage act.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that some people get turned off by that, and some people just look at him and they're like, look at this fucking asshole attacking Fauci when all Fauci has done is try to help our country. That is a very large aspect of the public opinion of the conflict going on between those two,
Yeah.
And that's also backed up by NPR. NPR has Fauci on, and Fauci's talking about his fucking family and the threats and and the security and this and that. Almost essentially blaming the questions that are coming from Rand Paul on what these people are doing, or whatever, if these people even exist, but this situation that he finds himself in now, Fauci, that is.
Look, I'm not gonna back up Fauci here, but I will say that Rand Paul definitely sees that there is. He knows that people like when he just goes off on Fauci, and he is trying to do whatever he can to squeeze a dime out of that as possible.
Yeah,
There might be some truth to that. It's weird that Fauci is such a a lightning rod. He's like a cult figure for the Democrats, and he's like a devil for the Republicans. It's
It's
very
true.
weird. I mean, that's one reason why I think he should just resign, just because he's almost become the story rather than.
That's true. That's true. You know, when like years ago, 12 years ago or whatever, that Jewish guy Lieberman was going to run for president, and I really liked that Lieberman guy, but I didn't want to vote for him because I thought that he would be a lightning rod because he was Jewish for the United States. Just like I don't know if we should have a gay president. It's not that I'm against gays or I'm against Jews, but I just think that it would be, and I think that Fauci is kind of the same way, where it just gets to a point where he, just because it's not his fault. So,
Wow, putting the
and
gays
everything.
and the Jews together. How funny. Jesus.
I'm okay with it.
But
well, you're both, so there you go. No!
But I think Last Dance is right. I think that
Hold out.
if we just had a fresh start, and there's other people that are. I don't think Fauci's all that bad. I disagree with what Rand Paul. I think Rand Paul's more motivated by his popularity being boosted than what he's actually doing with Fauci. But, I think it comes to a point where, you need to go. And I think that might be the time for Fauci to go. Especially, I think we're coming to a point where I think we're going to change. I really do think that this whole COVID thing is about to flip over to, just a lifelong dealing with it thing, as opposed to, it's a huge storm cloud over all our shoulders,
Boy, I wish that was true, but I don't see any end in sight.
Well, it's
cycles of panic to continue.
It's reduced to slightly less dangerous than the flu now.
In what way?
It's not as deadly.
You mean
with
the Omicron variant?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's different flu variants each year, and some of these COVID variants have been a lot worse than any of the flu variants.
But the way that viruses work is they generally get more virulent but less deadly. I don't know. Where do you have proof of that? Because I don't see it with the flu vaccine, and I don't see it with the COVID.
No,
because
we
had worse COVID.
Viruses work.
But we had worse COVID variants after the original variant.
Right.
And the same thing with flu. We've had worse variants as years gone by.
It got more virulent and still as deadly, but then eventually it got less deadly and more virulent.
I just don't see that with going off of the flu vaccine, because COVID's only been a few variants. The flu vaccine, or the flu, every year, you have huge spikes some years as opposed to other years.
The way that viruses spread, they want to live longer and spread for longer. Therefore, they get more virulent and less deadly, so that the host can spread it more.
I mean,
you say they want, but that's just the way evolution works.
That's
and
exactly
there's no
like they have an opinion.
Right, exactly. There's no force of evolution operating with COVID, because you don't die, no matter how virulent
that's how
it
evolution
is,
works.
you don't die fast enough.
The strains that live longer last longer and produce more, therefore it becomes the dominant strain.
By the time somebody dies of COVID, they have already had a fantastic opportunity of spreading it. And so there's just not enough. It's not like Ebola, where you get it and a day later you have blood pouring out of every orifice, and then you're dead.
Orifice.
Yeah, and Ebola didn't spread very far because it killed them too quick.
Hemorrhagic fever, man.
We don't want to hear about that.
Yes, you do. You do.
Oh no, I don't.
You know what?
I've seen too many freaky movies lately.
Yeah, people don't often talk about MERS. Remember Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome? That had a really high mortality rate, like over 20-something%. But its transmissibility was not that high. But that being said, if you combined a little bit of that potion with a little bit of the Omicron and came up with the little combo wombo there, we'd be looking at bad times.
I have
So-
evidence that Blind Fury is wrong there, that it was man-made and not natural.
Oh, here we go.
If it was man-made, then why is it related to the common cold?
Well, that doesn't mean they're not
Because-
capable of
yeah.
picking and choosing and
Yeah,
synthesizing
but
parts
it
of
would
one
have a
thing.
different signature if it was man-made. It was
Fizzle on the full fizzle?
it's related to the common cold.
Is it?
Oh, I think there's little doubt anymore that
Which
it was. I think almost everyone agrees that it was man-made. The existence.
It wasn't man-made, but it was accidentally spread by man.
Well, it was man-modified. I don't say it was man-made. It was modified. But it was a bat virus, which was a coronavirus that was modified to have something called a furin cleavage site, which it's possible that could be naturally occurring, but it's so improbable that it's just
Why
asking
is it
too much.
improbable?
It's just a very specific protein marker that
The very fact
Just
that
for
life,
humans,
the very
just-
fact that life exists on this planet is improbable. It doesn't mean it can't happen.
Well, that's true.
I don't think it's improbable.
This was being discussed by this particular lab in Wuhan. Not just gain of function research, but furin cleavage sites, and then miraculously in Wuhan, where this gain of function lab is, that was looking at putting furin cleavage sites, discussing it, is this virus that has the furin cleavage site.
If they was investigating it, they could have just found it naturally and was investigating it from the
Yeah.
virus found in bats.
You go on Dr. Manhattan.
It doesn't
on
need-
now biscuit babes.
It doesn't need to be produced by man to make.
If that
it as
lie
bad
was
as it is.
available, the Chinese would have used it, and they didn't.
I'll tell
They
you one
simply-
thing. I don't like fur and cleavage. I prefer my cleavage smooth. All right, I'm going to go
All right.
pee
So
outside.
I guess that means we're done with the
Be careful, Smokesteve. Is it? Oh, he's gone.
What now?
Is there still snow on the ground?
Oh, yeah.
I just went out there because we got 12 inches a couple days ago,
Yeah.
and I almost fell on my ass because it's all iced over. So
Oh, it's
be careful out there.
I got a path.
All right.
So I'll be right back.
Yeah, we got
What does
12
Papa
inches.
want
It's like the most we've
what-
gotten. Like
Why does Topper
20
want to
years.
slap me? What did I say wrong?
Nothing.
Oh, Topple's here. I thought he was boycotted.
Yeah, he was faking it.
Topple needs to get his butt
You have
hurt
figured out that he does lie.
butt in here.
Right?
So
We need his pathological lying in here.
apparently, we're now. This country is now $30 trillion in debt.
Is that true? I wouldn't doubt it.
My nose
Yeah,
at that.
apparently.
Beep, beep,
Whatever. I don't even know what that
There we go.
means. But
That's
I think a lot of that is owed to
beyond
China.
conception.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I say we should just cancel it.
Just
As
Never boycott.
file
as
for.
payment.
We should just file for bankruptcy.
no, we should just say we're even now. You gave us COVID and caused trillions of dollars. in damage.
That's not a bad idea, Last Dance, and I'd be all for that. In one way or another, whether it was sloppy practices at some, unchecked market that sold some crap food or something that got shit on by a bat, or it was manufactured in a lab. It still came from them. So yeah, we should be like, you cost us this much money, we're not going to pay you back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other people in the world that would be more than willing to back the United States, even if we did
Yeah,
something.
that's my angry
Ignorant
rant
like
of the
that.
day. Exactly, that's my ignorant rant of the day.
That's not a bad idea.
Crazy. All right, going to try something new.
All right.
Now that our boy's here, Topple, peanut butter
Looking
whiskey.
Oh,
there it is. That's what
he likes the stuff with nuts in it.
what that young man likes is peanut butter whiskey.
I'm going to go with a double.
On the rocks and all.
Give us
This is an interesting technique I just figured out with this
a
thing.
quick update on that.
In opening
Cap
technique?
off. We're live. Come on. All right, we got technical difficulties here.
Technical
Come on, man.
difficulties.
You
That's
got
why
some
you,
pliers in there. It's your garage, right?
dude. That's why you have a wife.
I could
She's your assistant.
I could shoot the cap off. Yeah, let's try these babies.
Why don't you do that ninja thing where you put it on a stand and then kick the cap off?
Oh yeah.
See if I can trim it off.
Oh no.
Oh boy, this is gonna get
Oh,
worse.
dear. There's gonna be blood.
I'm just gonna say I predict blood.
All right, that was a bad idea.
No, it's perfect idea.
Don't you have a hacksaw
Here we
in there
go. We
somewhere?
got action.
Give it to Smokesteve's wife. She'll be able to get it off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. There it is. Oh
Man, it's only an hour and a half into this, Smokesteve. You're
nice.
Oh,
you're risking it.
IBRB.
this will be it.
Smokesteve's made of better stuff than I. And probably
Apparently.
the rest
Yeah,
of us.
yeah.
I think I had equivalent of 5 beers last week and was puking.
Yeah.
Wow,
Not
That
to
is
name
really-
names, aphid lip, but
that is really awesome. Damn,
I'm not a big drinker. I'm a sipper.
Sipper.
good
good
idea.
stuff. I need a
Yeah.
chaser.
Wow. Interesting phenomenon, the medical marijuana, and then add on the alcohol, which is not a wise idea, but
Oh, it's
It's
a
definitely-
brilliant idea.
it's definitely quieted my brain down, where I'm not having anything that remotely resembles mental health, reactions to anything.
We'll be the judge of that.
Cypher, would you classify yourself as high right now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What do I have here? It's called. Let's see. It is Siberian peach cake, and it's indica. It's an indica based. Yes.
So is it you smoke it? It's like flour, as they call it.
flour, as they call it. Yes.
Yep.
Do you have do you like Smokesteve? Do you roll it in a paper wrapper, or do you
I have
have
found-
like a little pipe of some sort?
I have buds. I have pre-made, like what's his face? He should be here now. Where is that asshole?
Based
Yeah,
Welshman?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, there he is. Speaking of the devil.
He appeared. Yeah,
Wow,
I did.
you conjured him.
Yeah, I did. That was excellent conjure.
There he
Show,
is.
show us the
You're muted,
the
Based.
bud. He's got the bud. He's got
Look at his eyes.
Here it comes.
There it
That's
is.
it. Yeah, what I got was about 10 like that, along with a bunch of edibles. This is the Siberian peach cake, which is buds. And
It's like
then,
it's a lotion bottle.
it does sort of look like a lotion bottle, doesn't it? But it's not a lotion bottle. It's a bud bottle.
Yeah. Did you roll that yourself, Welshie?
Yeah.
Wow, that is a feat, man. That thing is cool.
Here in the UK, we don't just use one Rizzler. We tape about 12 of them together and make a really long one.
Well, anyway,
I
it's
like it.
last week, Aphid Lip, I don't know if you realized, but I only stayed up on.
Yeah, I did. I told Mrs. Lip. I was like, maybe he doesn't like me,
No,
and he didn't feel comfortable.
It was the first week of me being on medical marijuana.
I
and,
see.
It altered my consciousness enough. I'm still sort of uncomfortable. It's like, I don't know what to make of anything at this point. I mean, medical marijuana and marijuana is just so radically different than getting buzzed through just alcohol. And I don't have that experience, despite being older, old enough to be most of y'all's father.
You're
I
hippie. You're almost hippie age, aren't you?
I'm
A little bit younger, I guess. Than
I'm geezer aged. I'm literally geezer aged. I'm 68, which is, I'm old. My year.
How old were you in '69? Do you remember?
Yeah, I would have been 15. So the last year of the draft for the Vietnam War was when I was 17, and my draft number was in the high 200s, and so I wasn't even considered. But anyway, that's just how old I am.
Have you tried baking cannabis?
Did I have some bacon in front of it?
No.
Yes.
No, have you tried baking?
John Grammaticus, kick the weed out of there, and I'll
Do you get your-
join you for that one.
I can't hear you, Base Welshman.
Base Welshman, it sounds like you got your thumb over your mic.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Better, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Have you tried cooking with it? Baking cannabis?
I've done edibles. I've done gel edibles. I've done cookie edibles. I mean, and this is in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
When I say I've done them, I'm talking about very recent history because I just wouldn't break the law.
Be careful with the edibles because they can creep up on you and you're like, holy shit.
Well, I do like them a lot. I have to admit, it's too bad they're so fucking expensive.
Well, you can do it yourself. You can make your own edibles. It's not really. It would be just a basic recipe with the added ingredient using butter.
Yeah.
Job done.
Buds and butter.
Yeah.
Have a bud, have some butter. There you go.
There are your two secret ingredients. The butter's really important. The butter is really important. You infuse the herb with the butter on a pan.
And you chew them both together and drink them both up. Say,
No. You basically, what he's saying is you pick a fat, you bond the THC with the fat, and then you can use that to bake, whether it's vegetable oil, coconut oil, butter. I mean,
I was
in the morning.
Song.
So what you could do is you boil water in a pan, put a bowl over the top of it, melt the butter, and then pour the crumbled herb in with it, and let it simmer, and it's infused. So you can have toast in the morning with a bit of special butter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
A lot of ways to do it.
So just raw bud, chewing raw bud with a stick of butter isn't going to do it.
Well, you take it out.
You grind it down, obviously. You grind the bud down to fluff, and then you push it into butter, and let it infuse for a while. You'll see it all amalgamate into it.
Yeah, okay. Well,
And
take that under advisement. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You seem like a man of wealth and concern.
I'm wondering here what
smart accolades.
What Tesla rocks mean he's holding out for 1970s window pane. Is that like some really high end, some coke or something that you would shatter? It comes in like a pane and it's like some crystallized drug. I don't know. That's an interesting. I've never heard 1970s window pane. Anyone else?
Well, shatter, yeah, but I don't know that.
Yeah, interesting. Cool. Maybe he can clarify there, Tesla. And we had Tops, but I guess Tops isn't coming on. Come on, Toppy. Join in if you want, buddy. Love to have you and your great opinions about the world. We can go back to sharing our disgusting plumbing stories. That might be...
I've only had acid ever once.
Oh, come on. You must sit there.
I did it once, too. I didn't like it.
Oh, I loved it, but I couldn't afford it.
Was it expensive over there?
It was 20 quid for one little tiny square and a bit of tissue
$5
paper.
$5 a tab here, brother. When I was...
That was like 30 years ago, Smokesteve.
Oh, it was like 15, 20. I did a lot, though. I had a guy who made liquid, and he sold me a bunch of pizza. It was like all I had was pizza crusts, bro. So I cut them into little. So I'm like popping pizza crusts, and they each had a drop of liquid on them.
Oh my god, liquid's amazing.
No.
I felt dirty the next day. Like I didn't want like I when I had to go see my parents the first time after doing it the first time, I just felt like a bad person.
That's that Catholic guilt, bro. I
guess so. You
didn't do anything.
That was the only time I did it. The one time.
I tell you what I used to do quite often. When we used to be, I used to be into my V-dubs and we used to go like big festivals and stuff, and we would all take magic mushrooms and we would take them about an hour before we went on the dodging, and that was the basically. It takes ages, doesn't it? Mushrooms and like cookie cakes and stuff. It takes ages to kick in, but when it kicks in, it's like a mule. So what you do is you go on the you take them an hour before, go on the dodging, you pull off the dodging, and everyone's up. Everyone, regardless. You know, you're pretty much flying at this point. It's just that rush. You know what the dodgings are? Yeah, you know what the dodgings are, don't you?
I know mushrooms. Yeah, I'm very familiar with shrooms.
Yeah, I've done those. I've done those a few times.
You know what the dodgings are?
The what?
Dodgings. Like funfair cars that go around in a circle.
Bumper cars.
Oh, like go-karts, we call them here. Go-karts
right,
go
yeah.
around.
No,
Go-karts
these
go around the track. Bumper cars are just in a big pen, smash into each other.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we used to do. We used to go on them about an hour after we took it, and it would bring us all up, obviously.
Yeah, I bet it would.
It does.
I could see on mushrooms everyone just following each other around and no impact at all. Just a giant like fucking disco train around.
Slow mo.
It was hilarious because by the second, third night they knew what we were doing. So they kept extra eye on us and all that. But there's always a couple of us just stop in the middle of the track and like, I've had enough. Just like really confused.
I got a good one for you. So on Cape Cod, the go-kart tracks, which were gas-operated go-karts, when I was a kid, you had to be like 4 feet tall. When I finally made it to 4 feet, when I was like probably 8 or whatever, I was still young. I was a big kid. So I get in the cart, we're bombing around the track, and the fucking gas pedal gets stuck under the rug. So the fucking grease monkey's on the edge of the thing, waving everybody in, and I'm going around the track like, after everyone's waved in, he's like, "Get in here, cut the shit," and I'm like, "The gas is stuck, I can't stop," and they all think I'm bullshitting. So everyone, like, there's 40 fucking carts in a row. Everyone's half out of them. You know how you're kind of awkwardly trying to step out? I fucking hit the back of the thing, and every person fell back on the fucking go-kart because my goddamn gas pedal was stuck. And the kid, like, jumped in the cart and, like, threw me out of the way and pulled the gas pedal up from under the rug. And even though it wasn't my fault, I still got a ration of shit for doing something wrong. Like, and I was, like, scarred for life on the go-karts. That was, like, my first run, man.
You were, like, 8?
I was very young. First time,
man.
dude. I finally made it above the line, so it was like...
Oh, that's awesome.
It was hilarious. Fucking gas pedal stuck under the rug.
I was racing Rotax go-karts up until about 2 years ago. They're great go-karts. They're just super expensive stuff. Like... I used to do races, and a race would cost me £50 a start.
$50
to enter. Yeah, so it's a race weekend. So you qualify on a Saturday and you race on a Sunday. It's outdoor, it's a proper circuit, like 800 meters long. And I was in the heavyweight class, obviously, but I was like 12 kilos over heavyweight class. Like, I don't know. Racing heavyweight means like 5'10" and 30 each weight. You know what I mean?
So you're in like a miniature Indy car, right? Like a tiny...
Yeah. No. So your typical go-kart, it's called a Rotax, 1 gear, 2-stroke, revs up to like 12,000 revs. I had a similar experience to you. I had a complete brake failure on the main straight, and we're doing 65 on the main straight. We're not going slow. And when I went to hit my brakes, complete brake failure, nothing. The pedal just went like completely loose, like you touch the stroke. You know when you touch brake?
Snap a cable or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I went from like 5th to 3rd going into the bend, and I went in the pits. I did and broke. I didn't break. I slid into the tires. Car was all right. I've never been so scared. Because honestly, the distance between me and failure huge, and it was so close. And yeah, I felt super vulnerable, making me more vulnerable out of the
Same as me. I'm just going to draw a point here. Welshman, I think there's a challenge here with your audio. Is anyone else noticing that?
Yeah, I keep turning my head thinking I'll hear him better, even though I got headphones on.
Yeah,
towards the screen. Right.
It's funny. Sometimes I don't know whether it's position. It sounds perfect, and then
I think the problem is he's laying in bed, and there's a sheet that's covering the mic at sometimes, and when he moves it, and it's not covering it at others.
Yeah, when he gets excited, it comes through clear as a bell. But when you're
you're not wrong, lads. You're not wrong.
all right.
Sorry.
I would suggest you find the location of the mic on the laptop that you're talking in, and just make sure at all times that it's clear of debris.
Yeah,
that might improve your audio.
It's a mobile, so that's about it, honestly.
It's all right. No worries.
It's still worth having you here.
So what, Welsh? If we can get it out of you, what's going on with your fearless leader, British Trump?
The Boris isn't anything like Trump, though. He's a cuck. He's a twat. Look, what upsets me about all this uproar about Boris Johnson and his party is that the people weren't upset when they saw the lockdowns in. They're more upset that he didn't listen to his own stupid rules. That's what they're more upset about. And they should be more upset about the tyranny and our freedoms being stripped off for the last 2 years. That's what everyone should be upset about, but they're not. They're just going, oh, you're a party, and I couldn't.
Right. So what you're saying, rather than realizing that the wool has been pulled over their eyes, they want the wool to be over his eyes as well, even though he was clearly understanding of the fact that there was a certain amount of bullshit involved with the quarantines, because that's why he didn't care as much about it. That comes back to the public health thing. When they're not telling everybody everything, they treat us fucking one way and they behave another. And we've all seen the pictures of every fucking one of them taking the masks off after the fucking cameras are off, because somebody's there to get it, AOC was at a party, no mask, got fucking COVID. A week later, fucking, it was obvious. Like,
liberal media haven't got a thing to say about it, though. You notice it's like it's on social media that are telling us about it. Liberal media, like, oh, I don't know what different technology.
Well, if you're Peter Ducey from Fox and you're lucky enough to have the President of the United States call you a dumb son of a bitch into the camera, what the fuck?
It was a perfectly reasonable question about inflation. Perfectly reasonable considering, the moment in time. And to answer it in that manner, and for him not to be crucified like Trump would have been, Trump's an idiot.
It was a fairly benign question for a reporter. It wasn't even inflammatory, It was just
reasonable as hell. What about inflation?
Ridiculousness. I mean,
as an American, I hear this whole thing going on over there, and I'm just like, are you serious? Like, the guy's just sitting on a patio, like, drinking a glass of wine, and that's wrong? That's really how far things have gone over there?
It's not that he's sitting on his patio drinking wine. It's because he was sitting on his patio with 30 or 40 other people when all the rest of us weren't allowed. And people were dying and not even allowed to see their relatives.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In walking distance here, there's bars that are right now, Saturday night, just completely cram-packed. Not one single person wearing a mask.
Well, they didn't make the rules, though, did they?
Okay. Lad, there were 16 different parties now that they're investigating the police. So originally it was a leaked photo which started the ball rolling, but now they've looked into the 16 occasions the police are looking into. So it's not the one in the garden district that they're looking into.
Let's not forget, we're talking like castle level buildings with professionally maintained gardens, like the most beautiful area. Like you could put this thing in home and gardens where they're sitting, like absolutely, like give them their cake and let them eat it too situation where the leaders are living this lavish life, bringing in booze and shit in like suitcases so they can't be seen.
They had one advertiser bring a bottle, and they said we'll provide the food. Guess what food they provided? Finger food. This is 2020, mid 2020, when everyone was like madly paranoid about anything. They provided profiterole and fucking sausage rolls and pineapple sticks or whatever. You know what I mean? You know that's none of this makes sense if it was as deadly as they made it out it was. I don't believe Boris was ever as ill as he was made out. At the time, everyone was saying it was a false flag. And a lot of people said it, and I believe it now. It was a false flag on Boris.
Right.
You know, because he was seriously ill in hospital. I don't believe that at all.
Interesting.
Who knows? Maybe not.
Not sure
Well,
what was said.
If you're having parties and having a good fucking chinwag and getting pissed up on a regular, right? Then, and you got really ill, why would you keep on having parties? I don't reckon he was ever really ill. And at the time, everyone said.
What about his comment to Keir Starmer about not what's his
Jimmy
face
Savile.
with Jimmy Savile here?
Yeah. I think he should have brought it up years ago. I'll give you the context, chap. The Architecture Leaker, Keir Starmer, was the head of the CPS, Crown Prosecution Service. They were investigating Jimmy Savile, the most prolific paedophile in UK history, right? And they were investigating him, and he decided, the head of the CPS, he decided not to prosecute Jimmy Savile. And Boris built it up a question, a Prime Minister's question a couple of days ago. Like it's a bit of a low blow. And I suggested it's a low blow. He should have brought it up a couple of years ago. Not bring it up now because Boris is in the shit, trying to like push that shit somewhere else. He should have brought it up years ago, but he hasn't.
He was saving it for a rainy day, wasn't he?
Yep, disgusting. It's disgusting. He's using it as a political thing when he should just put him out on it. Just say to him, you know, the next sort of, you know, when a question falls away, protection of children, you could say, well, we all know what you need protection of children with Jimmy Savile, wasn't it? When you were head of CPS. You just said it 3 years ago, not now. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All of them.
I guess so, yeah. All of them are cunts. That part I got. I missed some of that in the middle. It was the audio was definitely tough.
Yeah.
No big deal though. That's fine. We'll just move on from there. You know what I liked about last week's show there, Aphid Lip, was your ability to just let people on who seem to be.
Oh man, let them go. I want.
I like that.
I haven't gotten any tonight. I got nothing. Like you drew them in those trolls, I guess you might call them. Or
well, it's because I put live show and I put all that stuff in the description. So call in. You know, you got to put all that stuff in there.
Call in?
I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference.
That's funny. You always throw people
extra.
off.
Maybe it was
What is it? A rotary phone?
It was extravaganza. I think it was what drew them in. Extravaganza is the word you have to use.
Great. Okay, so Happy Dog, who has the finest pair of headphones this side of Lincolnshire.
Mumble, mumble, COVID, mumble, mumble, false flag, mumble, mumble,
Right.
pedophile.
Yeah,
Sums it up, I suppose.
Okay, yeah. All right, so here we go. All right, get your ass on here, guy, already. Come on. Travel over to the fucking laptop, son. Pick up the headphones. Pour yourself a whiskey. Get on.
Boycotting. He's pissed at me.
Oh, he's pissed at you too. He's pissed. I think he's pissed at me too.
You think he's pissed at you?
He gets so sensitive. He can let it out, but he cannot take it. He's such a.
Who are we talking about here?
Topple. He's so
And
soft.
I have the greatest respect for the guy.
I know. I love Topple. I don't care if he hates me.
Okay, I'm stupid.
I love
No,
Topple.
I don't think you're stupid. I have the greatest respect for him.
Oh man, I bet he's got that shit-eating grin on his face right now.
I know.
Yeah,
He's
you're
about to
probably
It's
click on.
He'll say something that makes you want to, give it to him back, and then you do, and then he just like curls under a rock, and you're just like, it's okay, buddy. I really like you.
Oh, really? I never got that impression.
Oh
I just
yeah,
thought
Topple's very sensitive.
No, yeah, I think
You
he's.
can't-
I love
you
busting
can't-
chops with the guy, man.
Topple can't take it. He can give it out, but he just can't take it.
Oh, he can take it.
No, he can't. He's sensitive.
He takes it real good.
You're gonna have to come and defend yourself here, Topple.
Oh, it's fine. Let the man. He's probably got 9 kids hanging over him, 3 dogs, 2 cats.
My wife
he's in a
found
hotel.
Wife and a girlfriend.
My wife
He's
found
a busy man.
a video of a dog that was a lot like Topple's dog today. She's like, "Look, it's Topple's dog." She showed me, and he was just same type of dog, and just all teeth, just wanting to just.
Have we seen Topple's dog?
Yeah, it's like Topple will have to say what kind of dog it is. I'm not good with dog breeds.
It's a pit bull, though, right?
No, it's a little dog, but it's like all teeth and gets so angry. Like
Jack
looks-
Russell, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's what it is. Jack
Jacks.
Russell.
Jacks are terriers, so they're little motherfuckers.
Just
man.
all teeth, just wants to just rip your head off.
Yeah, I've known a few Jack Russells in my day. When you're in with a Jack Russell or a rat terrier, there you go, rat. They're cool when you're in. When you're not in, they're little bastards. They're terriers. Terrier is a terror,
Yeah.
But I love Jacks. They're real smart. I assume rat terriers are very similar to Jacks. They look very similar. They're just a little skinnier, a little rattier.
Jack Russells were bred for rats.
As well as I'm going to go ahead and throw out that I bet rat terriers were probably as well. They're practically the same dog.
It even may be the same breed that you just have a different name for it.
Cypher, I'd suggest you turn the lights out and put some Dark Side of the Moon on, get some good headphones going, just recline in those leather recliners behind you.
That's cliched. I'd go with more like Steely Dan Asia.
Oh my God, Steely
What's
Dan.
Steely Dan?
You just lost some cred
Yeah.
with me.
REO
Steve.
Speedwagon.
Donald the
Steely
Fag
Dan.
Fagan. Great. Donald Fagan, he is an awesome musician, dude.
When I worked at the pool hall, there was these 2 guys. One guy was in a wheelchair, and he was like, real proud of his pool skills. And the other guy was a complete, like, typical Dungeons and Dragons looking guy. And they would load up the jukebox with Steely Dan, and when I'd see him come in, I'd just be like,
Hot Spring.
"No,
The old Hot
No.
Spring. Yeah, there you go. Hot Springs.
I got our boy fucking Random Goon to play a Steely Dan tune.
Did you?"
Rocksmith. He
Oh,
played
man.
Reeling in the Years, and it was
Oh.
fucking tight, kid.
I can't stand Steely
Oh, you want to
Dan.
hear some Steely Dan?
No.
Don't you?
Hot
It's
Springs.
like it's almost as bad as Creed to me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it
Creed
is.
sucks, bro. Steely Dan is tight, bro.
No, it's not.
The musicianship is really good.
Maybe I'll revisit. It's been 20-something years, almost 30. I'll revisit some Steely
I mean,
Dan.
how can you not love Ricky? Don't lose that number.
Oh my God! It was that, and there was a Metallica album that was a real big at that time. Mid '90s, I'd say.
Well, Steely Dan is
The
20 years.
Enter
earlier,
Sandman.
so
No, I know that.
That's
but
the Black Album.
Enter
Yeah.
Sandman. It was that album.
Yeah.
That was a heavy rotation on the jukebox.
I think that's one of Metallica's worst albums.
I agree. I totally agree. And then they came out with that one which had that like car inspired song. I can't remember. Gasoline or something, is it? Or
It's horrible.
oh, it was horrible.
Terrible.
Like if
Is
you
it the
play me
guys who
some
wrote-
What's
Yeah,
the one where
I
the
remember
guy
that.
is like trapped in his own mind and he can't?
Sanitarium?
No, is it One? Is that the song?
One is awesome.
Oh
yeah.
man, that song. I'll listen to it. You know.
Yeah.
Dear.
How's it
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, great tune.
And then it gets going. Oh man, but that gasoline or whatever it was.
Yeah. I mean, and you go back further than that. You go back to the song I just said, Sanitarium. You go back to so many great tunes that they've had over the years.
They
on
did.
The old album.
Right.
When they had long hair. They were headbangers. And they were fucking like a real specific part of heavy metal where there were other guys wearing like, Rat and Skid Row.
Right.
Those kind of tags. And then you had the fucking Metallica guys who were like a little crazy.
Right.
Little unbalanced, like those. That's why I like them. Even though I did grow to love a lot of hair bands, Metallica definitely separated themselves. There was
there was an album with like a hammer in the what was it?
Well, there was 4 albums basically. You had the original one was Kill 'Em All.
I think that might be the one.
Then you had Ride the Lightning, I believe. Then Master of Puppets. Then the album with One on it, I believe, was the 4th one. So.
And then they started fighting Napster and jumped the shark.
After the 4th one, then you had like Enter Sandman and Unforgiven.
That stuff was so weak.
Shit. Yeah.
My brother he was Skinny Puppy. I don't know if you know who that is, and
I've heard of him.
Big into Ministry. He was big into Ministry. Jane's Addiction. He was a little bit into Jane's Addiction. But anyway, he went to. I think it was Master of Puppets actually.
Your little brother?
No, my older brother. And he got messed up at the show and he got a bloody head and he came home and he like specifically didn't want to clean it up just so he could come home and still wear the night's festivities.
That's awesome. Okay, love it. Very cool.
My bro.
Is he still with us around?
Yeah, he's still. My brother is. He's very different from me. He's one of those guys that just does the bare minimum to survive in life. Yeah, like always on the edge of. He's no worse.
Oh, worse than me.
Oh, way worse.
Oh dear.
He's always on the verge of homelessness, but he never really since my father's passed away, he's never relied on outside sources to get by. So, I give him credit for that,
Skater?
No.
None of that? Different from you, different character?
Yeah, he was different, and I always I was kind of straight in my early skateboarding days. I was real straight edge, and I definitely because he didn't know, like when we would get in trouble younger, he was 4.5 years difference from me, and when we would get in trouble for stuff, I grew up in the belt era, which most of you guys probably have gotten the belt or at least gotten spanked pretty good by your parents. And he would be like, my dad would take the belt off and you knew it was coming, and he'd get a whack and I wouldn't say a word and he would be like, you motherfucker, you piece of shit, and he'd get a whack again and then he'd be like, I'm gonna fucking call the cops on you, you piece of shit, and he'd get whacked again, and I was just like, I saw, because I was younger, so I would witness and learn from his mistakes.
Okay.
So you were more of a collaborator.
Well, there was times
brave.
looking back on it that I totally got my brother in trouble and manipulated the situation so he would get the worst of it.
An accommodator more than a collaborator.
And I knew once he would start getting the punishment, he would just go off the deep end, and he didn't know when to shut up. He was like, I don't know. My son's a little bit like that, where he just doesn't. You just don't learn from your mistakes.
It's not that. It's my sister's like that. He's defiant.
Yeah.
That's a quality I admire.
Oh, well, you admire my brother then.
Well,
But he was like ignorant to my mom. She'd work and make a dinner. Well, he would every single night. Like, it was very important with my family. We would sit down to the kitchen table and all eat as a family. And every single night, my brother would say something just totally disrespectful to my mother, and he knew that my dad would have no part of that. And they would end with my brother throwing his plate in the kitchen sink and him going to his room, slamming the door, and my mom being like, oh dear,
How old was he at this?
He was 4.5 years older than me. He was born in '68. So.
Okay. So was he a teenager? I mean, these
yeah. This was mostly
teenage.
Well, my brother always had temperamental issues. Like he held me. My mom was like always worried that he was going to do something terrible to me.
Strangle you.
Yeah, and she would take me away from the house and like wait till my dad got home and then bring me back home. But he was like that. He had a temper, and he didn't. And my dad would wrestle around with him, and they'd get in fights, and it's just like, God damn,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely an instigator. I used it to my advantage, and I put
used
him.
it for self-preservation as well.
Well, he would do ignorant things to me. Either like I had a cousin that was stayed with us a lot because his mom had her own problems, and they would be like, totally ignorant to me. We would always do these recordings. We had a tape. It was like a tape. I'm sure you've seen them. They got a handle on the one end. They had a cassette tape and a speaker. That was like the whole extent of it. And we would record these like skits that we would do, but they would record. Yeah, they would record me. Like, they would try to get me to say curse words and stuff, and they'd record them, and then they'd play them in front of the whole family. At like Christmas or something. The aunts and uncles would all be there. Look what Brian. I'm sorry. Well, you guys know my name, but look what I would say. And then they play
Brian Stelter. That's
so name. Yeah, right. So I would later on, to get, because I was I was 4.5 years young. So at 10, I was 5.5, or at. I was always way smaller, so I was always so I had to use different things to my advantage, and I realized that I could use my brother's temper to get him in so much more trouble, that I would get him in trouble, with manipulating the situation, and I knew he would just shoot himself in the foot,
My dad
feels
once
guilty about
recorded.
it now,
My
right?
dad once recorded.
No, I
me
don't
and
feel
my
guilty.
sister.
I don't feel guilty about it.
I
Used
said-
to they used to take. Okay, here's an example. They would take a stinky, sweaty sock that they had been then sweated in all day, and they would dip it in their Coca-Cola, right? And they would wring it out into a glass.
Who's
and
they?
they would my brother and my cousin, because my cousin was always over at our house. And they would ring it, and they wouldn't let me know that, until I was almost done with the Coke. And another thing my brother used to always do that just irritated the hell out of me is he would chew up Oreo cookies, and he would pin me down, and he would let it slurp out to where it would like almost touch my face and slurp it back up. And it would always go until the point where it would break off and land all over my face. So you're asking me now if I regret, the trouble I would get my brother into. No, I don't.
As Topple noted, the young aphid-lipped family household sounds wholesome, like the Menendez family was. That does sound about right.
This is a good story. There's a perfect example of my household. When we were kids, we had this couch that would fold out into a bed. And we used to let each other, like, we would put each other inside the couch and, like, put it down, Well, I was, like, really little, and he was, like, 4.5 years older than me in normal size for his age. And I was always, like, way smaller for my age. And I let him down, and I let go of it on accident, and it closed. So it locked. And this was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and the one thing in my house that you would not do is wake my dad up. That was like, in the summertime, he's got to go to work the next day. If you woke him up in the middle of the night, it was like, there was going to be serious hell to pay, And there was nothing I could do about it. I had to get my parents' help because he was like, he was like, "You gotta help me get mom and dad, because I can't breathe, because the bed had closed on him and he was trapped." And I stood on the edge of it and lifted as hard as I could, but I couldn't get it out, you know. So I was like, first this is the other end of the house, and I'm like, "Dad," that's how loud it was. And he's like, "Dude, you gotta scream, you gotta get them, I can't breathe." So I'm like, "Dad," I was so scared that he was gonna be mad, you know. So I finally got up enough courage to get their attention, and my mom and dad came back, and they were sound asleep. My dad knew instantly what had happened, and my mom had no idea. This is back in the old days where you had a console TV that was like a wood box with a TV screen in it, you know.
It was furniture.
It didn't even have a remote. It had a switch that you had to turn. And my mom's looking underneath. There's like this much room underneath that TV, and she's looking under the TV. She has no idea where he is. My dad is like milking it for all it's worth. He's like, "Oh, I know exactly where he is and what happened." But yeah, that was like a typical.
So he wasn't too angry. He was a little bit amused.
No, he wasn't. I think because it was so hilarious that my brother was stuck in this collapsible bed that we didn't get like in trouble.
Yeah.
You didn't get skinned?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But
The
man,
the blowtorch stayed in the garage for this one, huh?
we got you know, the belt and the bare hand a lot, you know, and a part of me is like, I've never done that to my son, but I mean, mostly because it's frowned upon by the general public. I don't know if it's, looking back on it, you know, at the time I thought my dad was a complete jerk, but I don't regret him doing those things now, you know. So I just don't know if the direction that we've come with, you know.
Oh, I still hold my dad accountable for every smack I had. And I've never, ever, not once smacked my child, and she's all the better for it.
I can't say I've never smacked my child when he was in, not like with a belt, obviously not, but I have spanked him, you know, when he was endangering himself. And I told myself at the time, I was like, this is like 1/10 of what I went through, and I don't regret what my dad did, you know. I don't know. I don't know if that whole aspect of how we look at, you know, treating our kids is that bad, you know. I don't think we should be beat, you know. But
I think
I don't know. I think we've went too far.
Showing disappointment to your child is far worse than any smack to a child.
Yeah, but that's only if the kid respects you.
And mine clearly does, because she,
if that's the
she
case,
responds
then,
really well to being disappointed.
Yeah.
Although I still can't get her to clean a room and eat a veg, but that's by the by.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I personally don't think that corporal punishment is ever the way to go myself. No. But if you do the whole thing right, I guess you don't need it. I don't know.
The bad thing is there's no magic recipe to raising a kid, and you know, it's kind of like a crapshoot. And you know, I've seen parents do their best, and I've got friends that, you know, just turned out to be really pieces, if they're not dead already, you know. And I don't see what their parents did wrong, you know. I think each kid is different, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying that, you know, we should bring back belting our kids or going and getting the stick and beating them, but I think that we may have gone too far with, you know, thinking that, you know, we just can't do anything to our kids without it being it's too late for me.
I once got a smack just because my guitar stand collapsed, and guitar slapped at the floor, and it went with an almighty crash. And my dad came roaring upstairs and gave me an almighty smack on arse. And I'm like, why? It's not my fault the stand collapsed. And
I'm not sure what a 68 Camaro would have.
I know.
Some serious super mods on that baby to go 165. That's really fast. Really fast. And Topple here, he's in on it. Smash those kids up. Beat them all.
The guy that I brought up a couple weeks ago that I think stole from me, basically. He's more old school like my dad was, and when he was over here disciplining his kids one time, it was extremely uncomfortable.
Are they his kids, or did he steal them from someone?
Well, he admittedly didn't want kids and wishes he didn't have them. So
He sounds like a great guy. You got
Isn't
great
he?
friends.
well, I don't even know if I'd call this guy my friend. He's a friend of my friends is more like I'd put it.
Yep, that is a
I mean, when you're hitting kids, I mean, my brother used to laugh at my dad, and it just made him hit him more and more. He got so used to being hit that he just kept laughing at him, and that made him so much more angry.
Damn, no kidding.
I got in an argument with my old man out in the front yard, and it was over oil. And my dad was, always into tinkering with cars and stuff, so there was always a thing of used oil in the garage. And I changed the oil in one of my cars and left the oil out. And I was wrong. I should have cleaned it up, whether he's got 10 other things of used oil or not, And I went that route with him, and then it almost got physical in the front yard. And I told him, if you want to do this and go physical and show all the neighbors, me and you get into a fight, and if that's where you want to bring this, and cause I was in like my early 20s probably at the time, and I don't know, some of the incidences with my dad I look back on and wish that things would have went a different route.
Did you live with your dad when you were in the early 20s?
Well, I did until I didn't, because I was like, I'm not going to waste money on an apartment because it's not going towards anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a waste of money.
That's a smart move. Yeah.
So until I got married and me and my wife bought our first condominium, I lived at home. But that was like, I was like 22, 23 probably when that happened.
That's hard to live with your parents when you're 20 anything.
Yeah, it is. He had loaned me money for some tires, and that second I went out and got money out of my bank account, and I gave it to him, and I said I will never borrow another penny from you ever, and I never did. Oh, man.
Interesting.
I miss my dad though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me too.
exactly.
He was racist too. I mean,
Well,
totally racist.
My dad's in his later 80s, and he's not racist, which is a testament because he grew
Good
up
for him.
Grew up with some racist people. I know that much. Into some racist circles. My mom, who left this planet long time ago, was very racist. So,
Was she?
yeah.
That sucks, man.
Those are the breaks, but it didn't make
I
me
know.
love her any less.
I know.
I'm white, so I was good.
All my dad's buddies were even more racist than he was, and I still have contact with them, and they treat me like their own kid, and it's like, am I gonna be like, am I gonna look at them differently? No. But does that make me a bad person? I don't think it does. Am I gonna stand up?
Makes you a bad person.
Yeah, right. There's so many other things.
That's way down the list.
But I think that the whole generational thing, I think it is getting better, and I think that, with more and more generations that pass, things will even themselves out.
What I want to know is how is my generation going to govern the country in like 20 years' time?
I don't have a lot of faith. I'll just say that.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, we've not got the best. We've been babied a bit too much, and a lot of us don't have much common sense. I've got to admit it. It's true.
Interesting. Well, I mean,
for a start,
somebody's going to have to have their shit together because you're all you got. When your 20-year generation comes up, that's going to be it. Or else you're going to get some kid or some geezer. We have some geezer here in this country, and it's all right. I mean, he's not. I'm not sure if he's real sure about what he's doing up there, but I don't know.
I think he's pretty sure.
I mean, if your country doesn't end up burning in a flaming pit of hell, and you get out of this to the next general election, you'll be fine.
Well,
I think
it's unnerving, the whole supply chain thing with regards to food. It is getting really, really
But
noticeable.
that's global, though. I mean, we're having that same issue here.
Well, it's really, from my viewpoint, getting noticeable that, like, the pasta, the cereal, they're, like, gone. Like, the stuff that people seem to think, like, the world is going to end is all gone. The shit that will last a few years. The dry food, the dehydrated stuff, the canned stuff.
I mean, that stuff here is pretty abundant.
I mean, the cereal aisle was abandoned, like, empty at my grocery.
Was that when you guys had that snowstorm though, or was it just normal times?
Normal, and they're out of half and halves for like your coffee. So, I mean, first world problem. We can make do with other things, but no, half and half. The horror.
Because I did notice this we had a pretty good snowstorm blow through here this last week. It was like 12 inches, which is. I can't, Smokesteve, like I'm guessing you shoveled some snow this past last weekend.
A massive snowblower. It shoots the snow like a rainbow across the atmosphere. It's fucking crazy.
Well, I had to shovel some snow, and 12 inches of snow is a lot of snow.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went to the grocery store before the storm hit, and the meat aisle was I've never seen it like that in my life. It was completely bare. The only thing that was left was the grass fed and like the real high dollar stuff. Right. That was it. There was nothing. There was no bags of chicken. There was no chicken whatsoever. Like the fresh chicken packaged up. Not a piece of chicken. Nothing. It was unbelievable. It was the whole wall was completely empty. I was like, oh my God.
But that shouldn't be a problem, chicken, because it's grown in your own country. It should.
It was obviously.
Is it shortage of lorry drivers not being able to deliver it from?
No, I think it was only because of it was only because of the snowstorm.
All right, okay.
Because I went back today, and it's been like 3 days now, and it wasn't the case.
And you have plenty of like dried pasta and like cereal.
Well, the pasta was really because I needed to get some, because my son, I had to get some eggless egg noodles. Most pasta doesn't have eggs in it, dry pasta.
Yeah.
But it was all gone. Not all, but it was like I would say 75% empty. There was no eggless.
That's how mine was.
There was no eggless noodles that I could get. There was no vegan mayo that I could get.
What about bags of flour so you could make your own pasta?
I don't know. I did make some flatbread today. It didn't rise as much as I was hoping it would, but it was really awesome.
Flatbread, huh?
Yeah, like you can, if you put it in the oven, it'll make a pita pocket, like a round pita. It separates, and it was good. All it is flour, salt, and yeast and water. That's it. That's all it is.
Like unleavened bread? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I don't know what they call it.
You can make it with self-raising flour as well, and just water and salt, can't you?
I don't know what I did wrong because the yeast wasn't all that old, so I don't know why it didn't raise. But like I left it for an hour and 40 minutes, and it didn't double in size like the video that I watched did. A little disappointed, but it was good. It just wasn't. It was a little more chewy than I was hoping it would be.
Uh-oh, did I offend Topple? Did I say something?
Uh-oh, he's very sensitive. You got to watch out for that, Topple.
I think he might have been referring to something Cypher was saying. I don't know.
Oh, no, Cypher. Wow,
Cypher's so stoned. He hasn't talked in like 2 hours.
He's on the chat.
He's been pretty vocal in the chat.
Yeah, he's been typing in the chat.
Oh, I see.
He's as quiet as a church mongoose.
Oh, namaste.
Right, namaste. Sound like Trump in India.
Oh, yeah,
Namaste.
namaste. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll try that. I'll try that next time. Cup of tea. Good advice.
Remember when Trump went to fucking India and they were driving him past like all these slums? They built this like superficial wall. I don't know if anyone saw any of that.
I don't remember that.
No, I don't remember him going to India.
Yeah,
I remember him going to Jerusalem and kissing the wall, but not
No,
India.
Trump's one of his famous things. He's saying namaste to like 150,000 people in a massive stadium in India.
And mispronouncing
I do.
it like
They
I do.
had a fascination with Trump a little bit. That president that they
Well,
had.
you know, who was it?
Modi.
Modi.
Narendra
was-
Modi.
Yeah, Modi and Trump.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
They were like peas and carrots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. Just like peas and carrots.
No,
Yeah,
no
when
sugar,
Trump-
happy dog, and I didn't put the salt in until I added the flour.
What's going on here? We have issues.
It's bread recipes. Happy Dog is
Dogs.
an expert baker.
Happy
No,
dog
yeah.
is.
I might invest in a bread mixer and save some money.
I got a bread mixer, and
look,
that thing
Random
just sits
Goon.
on a bottom shelf. Oh, get Random Goon in here.
Yeah, good. Come on up.
Gooner!
We need you. Join in.
Explain why you left Happy Dog out on the
Me too.
steps yesterday. Or I'm sorry, Last Dance. I meant Last
You
Dance.
mean for his?
Hey,
I
Sophie,
was
you've been
looking
putting
forward
something
to.
green in your hair.
I was looking forward to some Rocksmith.
I actually had the time yesterday because I haven't this week because of the snowstorm. We really kind of
It was just
didn't do much.
Gotcha.
I cleared my calendar. I set up the speakers. I got the booze ready, and
Oh, it's a
I'm
shame.
going to tell you the truth. I had another Steely Dan tune picked out. I wanted
Did
to
you?
play. I'm not kidding, and it was going to be Kid
Hot
Charlemagne. Anybody? Kid
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne?
Oh yeah.
I don't know I don't know the names to any of their
Oh,
horrible songs.
Great tune.
I know that if you want to go to sleep, Steely Dan is one of the best things that you could start playing for yourself.
Man, they were my road.
Oh.
man, love
Eight track.
Steely Dan.
They were one of my eight
You,
tracks.
Last Dance, you don't like Steely Dan either?
I love Steely Dan.
Oh, you love Steely Dan.
Peg?
I'm in the minority here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
the
a
song
younger
Peg
man.
is
You're a
so
younger
happening, Cat.
Smokesteve's younger than I am.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Well,
no.
yeah, I am. He's 73
Oh,
or
I was-
72?
73. What are you, like
Yeah.
76, 77?
Bicentennial, baby, bro.
77?
76. The bicentennial.
Oh,
of the
76.
country.
I thought it was 77.
No, 1776.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. I just thought it was 77.
Wow.
Well, then you don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, that was when I was 23 and first became sober for a long period of time.
You had about a 0.5% body fat back then too, with their body.
Yeah. Yeah, life has changed so very
those-
much.
Seen those pictures?
So very much. Yes, yes. Oh, I did get rid of that fucking, what was that ridiculous dating site, that I told you guys that I was on?
Our time.
Well, whatever it was, I got rid of it. And, I just threw away the $80. I was on there for about 2-3 weeks. And, what a vile nest of vipers and
These are women. They're called women. I don't know.
Oh no!
Nest of
I had dick pics flying my way,
Oh,
vagina pics. I mean, every
Ooh,
kind
vagina?
Are you sure you weren't on? Grindr?
It was nice, but
Be right
I
back.
mean, I told you that one person that I thought that I had something going on with turned out to be a professional stripper, and I didn't know if I was going to get popped for being
that's a
fucking
different website. That's Adult Friend Finder.
Adult Friend Finders.
Okay, well, yeah.
And I completely deleted that account.
Yep.
It's like, you got to be kidding me. I put up with that. And Biscuit Vape spotted that. It's like, come on, Cypher this. You're smarter than that shit. It's like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize for still being interested in some of the fun things in life.
Yeah, well, it was either get popped for being a John or get rolled and end up in a ditch. Those were my options. On
I
a
don't know. I think I'd bet on you in that
I
scenario.
would, yeah, I might not get taken all the way for the ride, but they would try. I think. Well, Biscuit, are you having a halfway decent evening? The diesel
Oh
okay?
yeah, well, I got up about 7 p.m. today, so
Yeah,
7
Yeah.
p.m.
You got up at 7 p.m. Jeez.
yeah,
yeah. I didn't go to bed till like what was it, 11 a.m. this morning.
yeah.
What's your daughter doing between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m.?
Playing on a computer. I made sure she had a breakfast, and then she had a sausage roll when I got up, and a sandwich.
Yeah, I have weird hours.
The thing is, I think what's wrong with me is I've got my body clock just keeps like going further and further, and like I'm running on more than a 24-hour body clock.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm a mess. I got into all these marijuana edibles. Again, medically prescribed. And then there's some.
I think
We're
my
not que-
problem is
we're
that
not
because I've got my
questioning you.
blind shut, my body's not reacting to daylight hours as it should, because I'm never in actual daylight.
You're in a different. I'll give you that you're in a different, behavioral profile than I am.
Yeah.
Far different. Mine is just this bizarre, pain crap. That I try not to bore people with too much, but it really is. It's commandeered me far more than I would like, and I would much rather have a combination of medical marijuana and alcohol and neurological drugs all working on me to alleviate me from some of what I've had to deal with than not. So that's the telehealth hour. Thank you, Steve.
Not bad. What is
And,
this? Here, we're just pointing out here, Random Goon asking Topskis to join on in. Is that a British word, Hornry? Hornry?
Ornery is a word, I believe.
Ornery?
Ornery.
Is that something from like the old
I've
West
heard of it.
days?
I've heard of ornery, but I don't know what it means.
I am.
I've heard Henri. That's a fucking
Henri.
French name, like Henry, but Henri. But
Henri the Eighth? Yes.
Anyone? Last Dance. Come on, you're smart. What's Henri?
I haven't the slightest
Well,
idea.
it worries me
I've
that
been
we-
reading it over and over again.
He thinks about tops, and that worries me.
I assume it's a misspelling, but I can't quite.
He mind effed us with that Henri.
Oh, he doth offend.
Horn. The
Horny. Oh, that's
Andre,
Oh, it was a misspelling.
Horny. Horny, now you're here, Tops. Now I get it.
Of the
Okay.
horn.
Yep.
You get the horn. You mess with the bull.
Tops makes them horny.
I thought it was ornery,
It
as
Makes
in
us all
difficult,
horny.
ill-tempered, or difficult
I
to deal
feel
with.
slightly uncomfortable, but I can handle it.
Ornery. That's a word.
You can
Ornery.
handle
Yeah.
it.
All right,
can
I
handle
can.
It's spelt differently though. It's Orney.
Ornery? That is a
Ornery.
weird word. What are you feeling? Ornery, son? Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Ill-tempered or difficult to deal with is what that means.
Mm.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Are you guys familiar with the movie, the one where Clint Eastwood played the real old dude?
That narrows it down.
No, like where he's like,
You like get off my lawn, guy.
yeah, that one.
Oh yeah,
Can't remember what it was
named
called.
after a vehicle. It's named
Like
after
the El Camino.
El Camino. Yeah, El Camino.
There you go.
Yes, El Camino. I
So
did
the
see
scene
Gran-
where like
Gran Torino.
where the
Gran
scene,
Torino.
the
Even
scene
better.
where- there's a scene where the white kid, the young white kid, who is actually Clint Eastwood's son, walks up with his Asian girl, like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
friends, to a group of black guys. This is the famous scene
Yeah,
where
yeah.
like Clint pulls up at the pickup truck and has the
It's the old You spook scene.
Super. Yeah. Is anyone familiar with that scene? Cypher, I know you are.
Yes,
Aphid?
I am.
No, I mean
saw
I saw that movie.
Me
Like,
too.
are you saying that's his real kid?
Gran Torino, not El Camino.
No, I know what
Gran-
movie you're talking about, but you're saying that's his kid. It wasn't his kid in the movie. Is that his kid in real life?
Yes.
That Asian kid?
No, the boy wasn't Asian. The girl was, but the white kid who's walking with her. Or the
Oh,
black guys are like, "Get the fuck out of here, white boy!" And then Clint pulls up and he gives him one of the greatest talks ever. I think some of the best lines in a movie ever. But I don't think I can repeat them here, can I?
what do you get to lose?
See what happens.
My life, my
I
reputation.
don't know. What do you think, Last Dance? Discretion?
Yeah, discretion is. But see, that's the thing. The way things can be clipped. Sounds like somebody's got some fucking
I
bird
don't know.
life.
That sounds like biscuit vapes.
I like it. I like the bird.
He's got a bird.
Yeah. I'm not.
Sounds
I'm
great.
not either. I am not a bird.
I think it sounds great, and I'm surprised you don't have one, George, there in Florida.
No,
You could just-
I had a green cheek conure, and at one point I had two. What are those little guys called? They're such cute little. Fuck it, I don't know.
But at this point, with all the cat life we
Right.
have, it would be a constant battle to keep
It
the
would
thing
be
alive.
it would be a battle. Yes, it would not be good.
Right.
What are those guys called? They're the tiny little. They got the little red cheeks and they're
Parakeet.
yellow. That's a good guess, but
Cockatiel.
Cockatiel. That's it. I had two cockatiels at one point.
I had many cockatiels in my life.
Cockatiels.
Sure, you have.
I had ones that would sing the. They would
Not
whistle
teal
the
cocks.
cockatiels.
Any cock thing is going to get some joke out of me when you say, I've
They
had
would-
many in my life.
They would whistle the what were they? Not the Three Stooges.
Leave it to Beaver?
No, the two.
Or
guys. The two.
not
Not
Leave
the
It to
Three Stooges. The two
Two Stooges.
Stooges. That's
Beaver. The Two Stooges.
Well, there's also the Three Musketeers. I mean, what two was there?
no, the two. Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
They would. These cockatiels would whistle the Laurel and Hardy theme song.
I bet these other guys have never seen a Laurel and Hardy movie.
I've seen them.
Okay.
Most of them haven't.
I had parakeets before. I had parakeets and I graduated to cockatiels. But my parakeets, my one parakeet, I watch Leave It to Beaver every night on the PBS, our local PBS. And after that what was the show where it was Barney Fife? What's that show?
Oh, the Andy Griffith Show.
Andy-
It's my
okay,
favorite show
yeah,
on TV, bro.
Okay, the the intro, the
Yep.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, you would start whistling that, and my parakeet would start whistling that back, and it was so awesome.
I hand raised 12 cockatiels and I had 26 at one point.
Wow.
Man, you must have been rolling in bird shit.
No.
Guano.
Guano, yes, that's the polite word.
Guano comes from bats and seabirds.
And it wasn't just cockatiels. I had two Indian ringnecks, and I also had another. I think it was 12 budgies
Parakeets,
at the same
budgies,
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
Budgerigar. That's a great bird. Australian.
I had 6 cages in my flat, large ones.
Yeah, I had a buddy who got a parakeet that just flew into his window when he bought a cage. The thing lived 12 years in his house with him. It's nuts, dude. And then it died, and he was all broken up. It was like, well, the thing fucking flew in from nature. I mean, it wasn't like.
What are you doing, Diesel?
Parakeets are like Jack in the Box.
Oh yeah, show Diesel. Let's see him. He's so cute.
There
Oh, Diesel.
Alrighty.
I think he wants letting out. Bless him.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's gonna take a grumper
Come on,
or a
then.
piss. Let him out.
Let him out.
That is cute. He's right though when he says that those pit bulls aren't bad. If you were to show his dog as the example of all pit bulls, That thing looks as sweet as a fucking chocolate chip cookie,
Yeah.
you know?
I won't let him near another dog or another animal, though.
You think he'd tear him up?
No, he did.
Oh,
Yeah,
a dog
the old,
even?
The old.
No, it was a chicken.
The
No.
chicken. Oh no!
And a chicken? Yeah.
And he got in a fight with that.
He got in a fight with another dog, but the other dog almost shredded his nose up.
Shredded him up. Yeah.
Yeah, what you have to...
Did he have
Yeah.
a good chicken dinner?
No, just got thrown in bin. I tried gutting it, but it were a mess.
You got out there and skinned it and
Yeah, I necked it, chopped its head off, and and tried taking guts out, but it all got like congealed with the rest of the meat, so it was no good.
oh,
Because I don't know how to prepare an animal, so
I don't either. I did a pheasant, 2 pheasants.
I gave it a
shot
go.
one.
I took a knife outside and just like hacked at it, and it were a complete mess. There was mess everywhere.
I bit into when I did the pheasant though. I bit into a pellet from the
Careful
shotgun
now.
blast.
Oh no!
You can crack a tooth.
I offered,
Yeah.
I offered the raw meat to dog, but he wouldn't touch it.
Fucking pussy dog. Come on, he wouldn't eat some fresh meat.
It had blood all over it. He didn't want no to do with it.
What bloody meat?
Nothing to do with it. Oh,
Oh my god.
But the chicken, he only damaged it to the point its head was flopping and it was running around like a chicken moron. This chicken squawking, screaming like hell.
No. Oh no! Oh.
My neighbor had chickens, and he'd chop the head off, and they would run around the whole backyard with no head.
Yeah, I had a buddy who owned a bunch
They'll
of
do that.
turkeys, and let me write some notes here. When walk pitbull, when he went to kill the turkeys, he couldn't do it. He didn't know what to do, and he has some Brazilian landscapers who were coming to mow his lawn, and he was like, "Hey, can you show us?" And these guys just fucking dispatched those turkeys in like no time flat. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But the guy who grew them had grown these awesome, beautiful turkeys for food, and then when it came to the final act, it was pretty clueless, which I imagine happens. But let me run this by you guys. So I go on this walk with my kid. We have a nice little area picked out. Wow, look at that dog.
After that chicken.
That's the state of the chicken after I were finished with it.
Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah,
Good
look
job,
at that.
Diesel.
Looks like we lost Aphid. I wanted his opinion on this too.
Well,
You had to take a call.
He's around. He's just quiet.
It's all right. I guess Goon's not going to come on, but I have a feeling Goon's going to probably follow up the pub with something
Goon.
interesting.
A brave pussy.
Ooh, look at that.
It's a bit blurry, but that was my one of my baby cockatiels.
No kidding. Did your dog eat that one too?
No.
Uh-oh.
It was one that I hand raised. I sold it for 250 quid.
$250. Not bad. Jump on here, Goonski.
Come on, Dr. Goon.
Here, let me go ahead and do this. Sometimes people don't realize, even though I know. Wait, what the hell is that?
What is it?
I had a paste from an earlier tweet.
What?
That is bizarre. So I'll copy and paste this. Copy. Oh, he's going to join in. No kidding.
Right.
There it is. There's the
Oh.
link to join in.
You took it to heart. I take it back. You're not a pussy.
And that was the end of the joke that that guy Jimmy Carr was getting canceled for. I could probably tell the joke. What do you guys think?
Of course,
I'm sure you can.
Sure, I can. Okay. Why don't I look it up to make sure I'm getting the wording exactly correct? So if he gets canceled, we know we're getting canceled. 7 degrees Celsius here, Biscuit Vape. How's that? How would you consider that for you? Very cold?
7
cold?
Celsius. Mild.
Mild. Okay.
Yeah.
That's about 19 or so degrees here in Fahrenheit.
It's 48. No, 40. It's just gone up. 49 degrees Fahrenheit here.
Yeah, it's about, what did I say? 19 here.
It's 9 degrees Celsius now. And
No, your
48
numbers
Fahrenheit.
are way off.
That's what the app says. 48 degrees Fahrenheit or 9 degrees Celsius.
19 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius.
No, 48.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's -7 here.
Oh, yeah, that's fucking freezing.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything 2 degrees or less is freezing.
See, I look at it in that little dash in front of it. I'm like, oh, it's -7 degrees. No, that's actually a negative symbol. All right.
Yeah.
But fucking -7.
Yeah, I was going to say it's 0 degrees Celsius here. You must be colder where you are, Smokesteve.
Right. Yeah, I always do that with the negative with degrees. I never notice that line.
We're just off double digits here. It's relatively balmy.
Yeah, right. Exactly. -7. Yeah, I gotta wake up and really read that a little closer next time. It's actually -8 now, but we won't nitpick. All right, the joke, right? Here we go. Is the Independent, that should have it, right?
The UK paper? Maybe.
Okay, here it is. So the joke goes, when people talk about the Holocausts, they talk about the tragedy and horror of 6 million Jewish lives being lost to the Nazi war machine, but they never mention the thousands of gypsies that were killed by the Nazis. Reason being, no one ever talks about that because no one ever wants to talk about the positives. That's the joke.
I think that is pretty funny. I like it.
It's funny.
I mean, I screwed up the wording, and I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. It's still funny.
It's a long joke, and that's what Smokesteve's wife said. She was like, that's funny because people, the gypsy thing, people crap on gypsies all the time, but...
Right. Now, I certainly understand how gypsies might not think that's funny.
And now you're not even supposed to call them that. You're supposed to call them Roma or Romani.
Why?
Now you see, when I talk gypsies, I'm not talking the Roma gypsies. I'm talking about the Irish gypsies,
the Irish
the
travelers.
pikeys from around here. Yeah.
Is that what they call tinkers?
Maybe.
Tinkers?
Irish travelers.
They'll tell you they can seal your driveway, and then they're like, God only knows what they're putting down
they'll
there.
sell you a caravan for $5.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Since I've been alive, the correct wording for black people has been Negro, then black, then African American, and now black again.
Oh, I don't know about that. I always thought it was Mike, Tom, Dick, or Harry.
No, it was more Leroy. But
I'm
Leroy. Sorry. Jesus. This has gotten bad. I'm kidding. That was bad. Was that
Indians?
Bad? It's funny.
Indians.
You call them by the name, is what I was getting at.
No, me too. Me too.
Yeah, no.
Me too, homeboy. Oh, he's back. All right. Everyone tighten up.
I'm back. The girl.
Go ahead. Go ahead with your alt-feed liberal talk down there with what else you have from when you were a kid.
So Indians.
Yeah.
They were first Indians.
Which
then
ones?
They were
The Native American Indians?
Native Americans. But apparently, when you ask a Native American what they call themselves, they'll say, we call ourselves Indians.
Right.
Like 9 out of 10, would say that's
because it's confusing. We call Indians people from India.
Yeah, right. I mean, the history is that this moron Christopher Columbus somehow thought these natives were Indians.
Right. The second to last one was Redskins, and then they settled on Commanders. So
Yeah, Commanders. That's
Commanders.
terrible.
You don't like the name?
No, it's terrible. Nobody likes it.
What did Washington become?
The Commanders.
Commanders.
Indians.
Washington, D.C. become?
What do you mean?
Washington, D.C.
That's the name of the city.
Washington State.
Well, the Washington Redskins were from
Yeah.
D.C.
But how about the guys from Washington?
Oh,
State
Seattle?
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks. That's a bird.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a Northwestern Indian iconography.
What about the
You think
Boston
so?
How
Red
dare they?
Sox?
You think so?
Do the Boston Red Sox have to get rid of the name because it's got red in it?
No,
Better,
it's red
better,
socks.
better.
Socks that are colored red.
Yeah, but they're on about red Indians.
No, rednecks. What were they again? The red. What the hell was it?
Red stockings.
Right.
The Reds.
Redskins. Yeah, I mean.
Redskins, yeah.
So, what was the old one with the tomahawk chop? Was that the Seminoles from Florida?
Those
Well,
Braves. The
Florida
Braves.
That was the Atlanta Braves, but other.
Braves.
I think maybe some of
State, too.
maybe the Florida State Seminoles did it too. I don't
Yeah.
know.
How dare they misappropriate that? How dare they? Oh.
There's a ton of like stadium songs with like 50,000 white people doing like a Native American
What could be stupider than that, huh?
Well, let me tell you. Oh, no, I guess I can't.
Right.
Must not tell you what is stupider than that.
Oh, you can. Oh, wait, we have a block down the bottom. Somebody waiting. Oh, it could be a totally what I've been waiting for.
It's gooder, I bet.
We had white guy rules last week.
Uh-oh.
No, I think it was Happy Dog.
Oh, fuck. Well,
You kicked him off, Steve.
I didn't do that. He left.
Left. You scared him off then.
What was this VOR RED? Don't ever click on anything like that, by the way, anyone who's here.
There's nothing to click on.
No, I mean, don't search it and then click on that.
Oh, is that what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to
Hey, I
Google
won't.
it?
Well,
Yeah.
I will not.
I searched the name just to find out about it, and it is definitely
A butthole name.
Malware Central.
So drive-by
Yeah.
malware.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the old school kind. I don't know. I mean, seems like back in the day, every other adult video you clicked on would infect your computer with something.
I used to
No, I don't
remember
know.
getting like 1 million pop-ups on my old laptop.
I don't know anything about it.
Has anyone ever got? I actually got the blue screen of death.
Yeah. Who hasn't?
Yeah.
No, being
That's just
as old as I
the
am,
blue
I would.
screen of death is literally your computer crashing.
Right.
Yeah.
I got it once.
No, it's a Windows computer crashing.
Yeah, that's true.
I got it millions of times in
Millions,
the
okay.
90s.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, I got it the other day, but that was because I was overclocking my GPU and it didn't like it.
well, I haven't seen it in like 20-something years.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a
Thank
while.
God. But the first time I got it, that's when I heard that term, the blue screen of death, and I was like, "Yep, now I know what it is," and that stuck with me, man.
I actually don't notice. I don't notice a bunch of viruses anymore. It seems like they figured that out.
Yeah. Got good protection.
Either that, or the viruses have just become cookies, and they're just
Well,
dragging.
do you know what the biggest difference is? Everybody uses Facebook, YouTube, and basic websites. They don't go on to nondescript websites anymore, clicking every miscellaneous HTML click link, and it's harder for virus makers to get onto your computer that way. Because
Oh, speaking of, it's kind of on the similar lines to that. Have you guys noticed like any service that you like, whether it's healthcare or Best Buy or whatever, afterwards they send you the thing and they want a quick survey?
Every fucking time.
What is up with the survey shit? Like, I'm happy with their service until they send me the survey.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Hey, Gooner, how you doing?
Hey, I'm not too bad. How you guys?
Well, you look
Oh,
good.
it's good to see
Sorry
you.
I'm sorry you had a tough week. I didn't.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'm sorry
Appreciate
because I didn't get my Rocksmith show. That's why I'm sorry. No, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I
I'm
see.
sorry.
You're angry, are you?
No.
He was.
I-
You should have
I'll-
heard what he was saying earlier.
Oh, really? What did he say?
Oh,
No,
man,
no.
I don't want to repeat it.
No, I
is
said nothing.
Is it not for live?
It's PG-13.
Not for delicate ears. No,
I'm always PG.
You fucking potty mouth.
Yep. Well, welcome back, buddy.
So what are you guys talking about anyway? Sorry.
We were talking about how you look way older than, what, 36?
I know, right? I look
the beard.
Young man. He's a young man.
He's apparently the same age as me. Well, a year older, but similar age.
Oh no. Just
Well.
transcend time. That's what I do.
Although I had a delivery of beer and he didn't look up when he said, "Can I see your ID?" And then he looked at me and went, "It doesn't matter." Have I got to that age already? I'm seeing my daughter chuffing because she's at the back of me on my bike. When I take her to school, she's noticed that I'm getting some like loads of grey hairs at the back of my head. I'm like, oh shit.
Do you ever go to a place that cards everybody, no matter how old they look?
Very rare. They don't do
Dollar
that anymore
General.
here.
Yes, Dollar General. They're very bad about that.
They sell booze there?
Beer.
Dollar booze?
Just beer.
Sign me
And,
up.
and finally, I finally got one woman to just make a joke about it and not check my ID. It was like, you're kidding me. After about, I don't know, 10, 15 times, over the last year and a half.
I saw them
woman
do
to
it
talk
at
to you?
a chain called Red Robin.
What about it?
I saw them card somebody who was like 75 years old.
That's ridiculous.
At a certain point, there's just no need to card the person.
Of course not.
No, it's really silly too.
That's why it was such a bizarre spectacle.
The gas station down the street, they say every time I go in there, if I buy alcohol, they're like, "Will you flash me my ID for the camera?" That's all. They say that every time.
Okay.
Red Robin has
What'd you flash him, Aphid? Just out of curiosity.
Usually my cock.
balls. Red Robin has.
And then do they ask for your ID afterwards?
No, they're like, "Okay, we're sorry. Out of pity, we'll give you the beer."
For free.
Did they need to get microscope out first, David?
Ah, nice.
Oh, cheap shot.
Not bad.
At least he can see it.
Ooh.
I'm getting like that, so don't worry. I'm taking a piss out myself here as well.
Very nice. So
I'm just talking from experience.
Steve, you're going to say something about Red Robin?
No, it doesn't matter now.
I'm interested. I was waiting, and now you're not going to say it.
Well, I mean, the one thing they do have that's a really good factor is unlimited fries if you order a burger, or what you would say chips in the UK, you guys.
Yeah,
So,
we say fries. Chips are thicker.
We
It's steak
still have,
fries.
yeah.
You call them
Fries
steak
are really
fries.
thin, and then you've got chips which are like really like half
Yeah.
an inch thick.
these would be closer to the fries then, but either way, you can get
You
like
get them free, like as much
Well,
as
you
you like.
get the burger, and you get your first bucket of fries or whatever, and then
Bucket?
they'll bring you as many. It's like
A little basket.
this is one thing I don't like is it's like a plastic. It's a little plastic basket with like like parchment paper in it. Like they don't serve you this shit on a plate.
Why
You're
don't they
not
give you at
plate
Wendy's with your burger and chips?
Somewhat. They don't do that here anymore at Wendy's.
Don't we?
Wendy's
Oh,
isn't
they
a
used
bag
to.
here. They did once, but that's one lame thing about Red Robin is there's no plates. It's all disposable, like gross shit. But the unlimited fries, if you're drinking and you're hanging out, you can just keep eating fries after the initial burger. But I
They're
think
not-
it's kind of a gimmick because nobody's going to eat a shitload of French fries.
I've always
Right,
wondered
that's what I was
what's a
thinking.
White Castle. What's a White Castle burger like?
What do you mean? What's it like?
It's like about this size right here.
Yeah.
Are they just
Where?
sliders?
Yeah, they're sliders.
Yeah, and they're like 75 cents a piece, and they intend for you
I've
to
only
buy
ever
They
seen
used
them
to be. They used to be 75 cents. Now they're like $1.25 each.
buck and a
Oh,
quarter.
holy shit.
I think so. At least.
So they.
I think you
want
can get a.
one-
I think you can get a cheeseburger at McDonald's for less than you can get a cheeseburger at White Castle.
That's terrible.
Well, the 99 pence here for a cheeseburger at McDonald's.
White Castle
the
fries. White Castle fries used to only come in one size, as the famous BC Boys song said, but now they come in multiple sizes.
You got White Castles in
Right,
Massachusetts?
Yeah, then we get them in the frozen section at the supermarket.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we got the real deal
We
here.
got the real deal in the Midwest.
That's
See,
right.
going back to like the fries that are totally free, because I love that idea, but because I'm a fat fuck. But I bet they're really salted, right?
Well,
Yeah.
this is the thing. You're
They
gonna buy
salt
like
them.
let's say you go to what was it called? Ruby Tuesdays? No, what was it again? Fucking whatever the place.
Red Robin.
Red
Red
Rabbit.
Robin. So you're like, all right, I want the barbecue bacon Texas burger with unlimited fries. Okay, that'll be like $13. And here's your beer for $5, and then tax. You're in for
Right.
it. You're in
My
for it
point
for-
is, it's how salty are the fries, though.
not salty. They give them to you basically
See, 'cause
unsalted.
I was thinking it was
But
like a
there's salt
peanut
on the
thing.
table, brother.
Yeah, no, but I was thinking it was like a British thing where they put salted peanuts out on the bar, so when you eat
Oh,
them,
no.
your mouth
You
gets
need
dry,
more beer.
so you want more drink.
I'm
So you
sure
keep
that's-
ordering and ordering drinks. And
I'm sure
what
that's
they're
part
making
of
a move
their
off of.
Not
thinking.
that bad. Not that salty.
See, I thought it would be something like that. They're getting something out of it, surely. Well, they have to.
I'm guessing. It's
Unlimited
like
fries.
the unlimited refills on drinks, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean,
No, but
unlimited
this is the
fries
thing.
to me sounds like a challenge.
They're trying to get you to order a few more drinks, which are probably $1 or $2 more because it's a big chain restaurant. So to them, the French fries are a wash if they can get you to order more drinks. Because the
Right,
drinks are going to be
Exactly.
4 or 5. Even the kids sodas are
Well,
probably
the kids
$2
are
or $3.
drinking as well.
Kids
What
are
the hell
drinking
is your
soda,
state
but the
like? Oh, right.
sodas are not cheap. And they're not shying off from like the parents having a few while the kids probably go over and play the video games at Dave and Buster's. That's another restaurant we have here in the U.S. Dave and Buster's. Have you guys heard of this?
We got
Giant fucking arcade, right? So the parents go in, the kids, they all eat dinner in the restaurant. Then the parents buy like $40 in credits, give the cards to the kids. The kids go play video games. The parents get wasted at the bar. It's like a very common thing in this.
I'd be with the kids getting wasted.
I was just going to say, I love going. I love going to Dave and Buster's.
The
so
closest we've got to that is Chessington's, where they got a big like climbing frame play area in one corner of the pub.
the pub where you go outside and there's like
Yeah.
a slide
Yeah.
and like a swing and it's really
Chessington's.
desolate and looks depressing.
Oh no, I'm talking about the other ones with the rope sided like climbing play areas. They've got like padded areas for kids to play in.
You know, like rope swings and a
No.
slide and that.
They're like a mesh panel like cube with like all like levels that they can climb into and stuff.
Oh, I know
A
what you
kids
mean.
play area.
Oh,
It's
right.
like
yeah,
a maze,
okay.
like a climbing
Yeah.
maze.
Yeah.
It's like from floor to ceiling and like massive.
Right. Full of COVID, all the variants just living there.
it's probably
Yeah,
a
but you just
giant.
throw your kid in, mix it in there.
Giant
and
petri
Dip them
dish.
in, hit them
Yeah.
in.
You're lucky if you find them an hour later. When
It's like
it's ready to
chicken
go home.
pox. Just rub them against another kid.
Right. They're hiding in the corner. They can't get out. They're stuck in there. Yeah.
It's the Disneyland of
There's
bacteria
one
and
kid
viruses.
with like a mask and everything else.
Of course.
It's just like, going, no, fucking stay away from me.
The Star Wars kid. Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally uncomfortable silence right here.
I'm trying to read Tesla
Oh,
Rocks.
it's-
He's got a little rundown here going. Tesla rocks. See, that's the thing. If you people think I might be ignoring the comments, but if I'm paying attention to the stream, then I can't read the comments. Ooh, we have a person. I'm going to add them on.
Oh, do it. Add him in.
Yeah,
because he has 215.
No, we know who that is.
That's Topple.
That's Topple.
I knew it was him by the whore.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey,
I see how you guys just
Loud
replaced
and
me with
clear.
Goon. That's kind of fucked up.
Wow.
Random
us-
Goon 215.
I'm so delayed. I feel like my grande here.
Oh, it's all right.
You guys got a lot of similarities.
You're my bottom bitch, by the way.
Having trouble connecting. No shit. Yeah.
He has no problem docking.
I just want to hear my baby talk. How you doing, Goon?
Oh, I'm doing great now. I hear your sexy voice,
baby.
Supple.
What about the rest of us?
Oh, I know. I love you all, but
All right, well, actually, I'm about to start
just
work,
does
but
things
y'all
to
have
my
a great
inside.
weekend. Thanks for
Right.
replacing me with Goon.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Take care, man.
I'm the better man. I thought he was leaving. Shit.
Well, he is. He's
Good,
gone.
good guy.
Sensitive guy.
He made an
Good guy.
appearance at least.
You know, when
Yeah,
he first popped up on my radar on Lively, I thought, man, this guy's pretty cool. I wonder why I didn't notice him before.
Well,
Is there a punchline?
No, I
Is
always.
that it? Is that
I
it?
was waiting for that too.
It's not as exciting, I know, as my usual
No,
stories.
no,
It's all right. It's all
I
right.
can imagine why too.
Oh, it was good to see the old boy. It sounded like he said he was starting work, so
Yeah.
I think he's away working or some shit. He told me so.
overnight shift. Yeah, I got the impression he was on some outside, possibly Wi-Fi. Definitely not his usual.
Are you
phone.
trying to say that he's working the street, Steve? Are you suggesting our man Tox is a man of the night?
No, I'm saying he's at a hotel and he's.
He said he was waiting.
Right, he's
for the
already
people
picked
to-
up his client. Is that what
He
you're
was-
saying?
He said he was waiting for his shift to start earlier in the chat.
Shift or shaft?
Shift.
Well, that's admirable, man. He's starting. Let's say he probably started at 9. I don't know what he's doing, but shit, working overnight on a Saturday. Hopefully, I'm sure he's doing all right with it.
Sure, he's getting some bucks in for that.
Most of the world now is our time to drink and get shit faced. So
Howard doesn't know what he's doing.
to be that guy who has to go to work now, he's definitely doing it.
Yep.
Good on you, Tops.
Well, I'm technically getting shit faced at midday here.
Midday? Oh my god!
For me, it's midday, and I've only been up like 6-7 hours.
Why are you
It's
not
dawn,
up in the
isn't it?
daytime?
It's dawn over there, isn't it?
You said you were a kid. Why are you not up in the daytime? What's going on?
Because of my circadian rhythm's fucked up, isn't it?
Oh yes, must be.
That just sounds like fancy jazz for I can't be bothered and I want to sleep through the day.
It's not like I went to sleep last
Cicada
night
rhythm.
and I've been asleep all day. I went to bed at like 11, 12 o'clock today. Yesterday now.
my
Yeah, that's
sleep
pretty much you've been
pattern's
sleeping all
wrong.
day.
Yeah.
But I didn't go
Did
to
you
bed
then
the
get
night
up in
before.
VR chat and get on your furry VR suit and
I've been playing
Sorry,
Zenith,
VR.
which is an MMORPG.
What's it? Linux?
Zenith.
Oh, Zenith. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a new MMO that's on the Oculus Quest.
I don't know what that is, man.
Massive multiplayer online game.
What are you doing on there?
Slaying monsters with swords. and-
slaying chicks.
Slaying.
Well, how do you slay? Is it a remote, like a?
No,
little-
with controllers and going smash, smash, smash.
Okay.
Well, you've got a very vibrant penis there if you're doing that. If you're smashing it like that.
Oh dear.
How old's your daughter, Biscuit?
She's 10.
10.
Easy now.
That's a good
And
age.
does she join you on VR?
No, she's not allowed.
I was about to say, with all the furry shit, I wouldn't.
I tell you something. She knows more about furries than I do.
I mean, the furry thing, I gotta say, it's confusing.
I don't know. You would look good as a lion, Steve.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I'm a human lion, so like, I mean,
That's the point of furries. It's anthropomorphic animals.
Anthropomorphic, even.
right. Human-like animals is what you mean, right?
Let's look out there for that terminology.
Yeah.
Just start our own, some sort of lizard culture.
I won't have none of this.
I was thinking that we should have
terminology.
a monthly karaoke on the pub.
Oh well, that's
Okay.
not a bad idea.
I would love that. Definitely.
Not be bad at all. That might
How
be
though?
good.
How would we have the backing track as well as the person singing?
That's your job as the.
Oh, I
Not a-
see. Yeah,
Not a
You
very
got to
good
play.
one.
oh,
Steve.
biscuit.
Your job as the host to figure that shit out.
I
You
mean,
can.
That
Well,
shit
the thing
out.
is, you can share a website, right?
Yeah.
can
So
I?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
if you-
think I only can when I'm on your side because I'm a mod when I'm in the comments. But here, I don't know what I can do. I mean,
Well, if you say got a YouTube video up and shared it on here as a separate video thing, then people would be able to sing to that.
Yes, but the lag would be
wouldn't
a
work.
bit bad.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
maybe that'd be a problem.
It would only work for the host real time.
Maybe.
For the rest
I
of
don't
us,
know.
it would be
So
probably.
what you're
yeah.
saying is
Twitch,
everybody
Twitch
would be
did do a Twitch
everybody would be
things-
singing out of sync with the actual thing to each other.
pretty
Right.
much. Yeah, we'd all be out. Yeah.
It works on VR chat.
Well, we'll all have to get a VR headset then, I guess.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, what you would need
Who's got
is
$1,000 to throw in? You know,
It's
for me to get a
£300
VR headset
for a Quest 2.
Oh.
what you would need is a company to come and
Right,
take-
that's it. I'm selling myself. Right, who wants?
take the whole mix and basically slow everybody's feed down by like maybe 10 seconds so that it could deliver everything at the same time. Otherwise, if it's all coming in at the time of your internet or your server or whatever it might be,
Oh,
like you
that would
pointed
be-
out, Random Goon, it's all going to be different. 'Cause there's-
yeah, we're coming from the UK, and you've got people from different states. It's going to
Right,
be a
that's what
mess.
I mean. So
Yeah.
there is a way to do it. You take the signals and then like divvy them out after the fact and have everybody receiving the same signal on like a 10-second delay blended perfectly.
Hmm.
But without that technology, it's all going to be
Well,
1 to 5 seconds
Twitch-
off.
Twitch actually did this thing called Twitch Sings, and it worked pretty well. But the copyright issues, because
Yeah.
you're singing songs that are
Well,
it doesn't matter that
does it
you
matter
sing it out
if
of
you-
tune. It's
If the
still
videos are already
picked
on
up.
YouTube, would that really matter? As like a SingStar video or
Well, it would
Yeah, no,
only-
it's
karaoke
all
videos.
copyright. It's if you're singing a song, yeah, it's copyright.
yeah.
because they make money off of them. If they're not making their 1.5 pennies per track, then they're not gonna fucking.
Oh no, but YouTube's so finicky. I know PewDiePie got his.
Thing is, though, does it really matter
his
because we're not
video
actually
demonetized? He got his video demonetized because he used a video, a song that was copyrighted, but it was his own song. It was his song.
Yeah, I heard that.
And
But
he
would
still
it matter
got
to us
copyright
because we're not
strike.
monetized? So would it matter?
Yeah, it still would matter. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I think
How?
it would.
I don't think it'd matter to a small channel that's not monetized anyway.
You're saving the VODs. If
Yeah,
you save the VODs, then yeah. If you don't save it, then yeah, maybe you'll get away with it if you don't save the videos. But
I don't know. I played a bunch of Here Comes the Sun earlier on the guitar on the intro as a test. There's a chance the whole thing could get because I played too much of the chords from a Beatles song, but
there's no chance.
Well, you're allowed to sing covers with your own music, aren't you?
I don't know.
On
Like
YouTube?
Hayden
No,
said, Hayden mentioned
Nope.
that they get on him about some stuff that I play. So I
Really?
don't know. Yeah.
No, even if you're playing cover, it'll flag up. Because
So how do people get
you're
away
playing
with singing covers on YouTube then?
They play it in different keys and things like that, so it's
All
not
right, okay.
exactly the same.
Or they just allow the original writer to. It's called being demonetized for a video. The Beatles would just get the money if it made a penny, but they'll keep it on, but they'll just
They earn so much percent. Yeah, but did you guys see? I posted a video in the trigger warning goon boombox thing, but there was the live thing that Metallica did on Twitch. And they're playing, what is that song? Bells Toll or whatever it's called? Do no no no, do no no no.
yeah.
You know the
the
song.
bell tolls.
Yes, they started playing that, and because it's a copyrighted song, and because Metallica were dicks and wanted to copyright all their music, Twitch played a generic song over the top of them rocking out
Their own song.
because they had to. No, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It was copyrighted, so Twitch was automatically, like a bot, putting a shitty song over the top of it.
That's insane.
Yeah. So they're rocking out, and it's just this laid back.
It's
Twitch
a shame.
tune.
It's a shame because it would be absolute gold. Drunk men on YouTube singing to undescript hits.
Undescript hits. I like that.
Doncaster Social. Who's that?
I'm from Doncaster.
Ah,
Is that
Oh,
Happy
I
Dog?
know why.
Happy dog.
They're on about me, which whoever's doing it, they're doing it because I was asleep all day.
We lost Gooner?
No, Goon disconnected on. What the fuck?
Okay.
Wasn't my fault. Wait a second.
uh,
There he is. Okay. Ready?
No, I was trying to say I'll be right back.
okay. Hey. Oh, he's right back. We're on Damoon Goon.
Doncaster.
Do I have? Let me see if I've got something going on over here. No, I'm muted over on the YouTube feed. I'm getting some feedback from somewhere else.
Oh, you're good.
Someone else is doing it though.
I think we're clear. I don't hear anything.
No problem. Okay. That might be me just looping on myself.
I reckon that's Happy Dog playing Silly Buggers.
Yeah, he's a bugger. Could be.
Well, whoever it was did the work to get the Doncaster Council coat of arms up there.
It's not hard. It's not hard to find though, is it really?
I wonder if Aphid hit the road.
Good
no
question.
idea.
Good question. Yeah.
Think he
And
got
now-
sick again, just like last week?
I don't know. He only had one beer, but
Those daddy pluses are strong. 8%. 8%.
And for the record, my daughter's
There he is. He's back.
grandparents.
Hey.
He cleaned it out.
For the
I think
record,
he's-
my daughter's at grandparents and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Okay.
he hit the road again. All right, no worries with that, buddy. Grandparents, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
You just have the dog and the bird.
Oh,
That's it. Yep. No daughter here.
See here. Well, I don't know. What do you think, fellas? Should we maybe call this?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Steve. I'm kind
Fine.
of tired. I haven't been my usual bubbly self.
Here comes the
All right,
sun.
man.
Doo-doo-doo.
You had to look at me, poor you.
I know, but you got to look at me at the end, so.
Well, that's a small consolation.
We can stay on here. I can end the show, or we can always transition over to our Discord, or we can go to Random Goon. Do you want to play some Rocksmith?
Oh God, no. We'll stay chatting. That's something.
It really is up to you, Steve. I'm good either way.
If you guys are leaving, I want to say goodbye.
Yeah, okay, man.
Well, I'm just seeing what you guys want to do. Like, I don't know. I mean,
I still want to hang out.
What we do?
I'll hang out.
If you all leave, I'm only going to go on VR.
You can always move it to Discord, and that way you don't no pressure, Smokesteve.
Well, I mean, I liked how did you have it so freewheeling on your show there, Aphid? Everything seemed just so loosey goosey, and
because I had no fear. I didn't care what.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, or you just sort of walked off and sort of.
I did. I started puking.
left
upstairs.
playing.
I went upstairs and puked. Try that, Smokesteve. Maybe that'll be a better show. Just leave right now, go upstairs, and go puke.
I'm like 80% sober here. So
I was about to say he's not a lightweight.
You're doing well.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
I'm about 90% smashed.
Are you?
Well,
yep.
I mean,
I've had 4 in the morning there too.
I've had about 3 nice sized joints, probably 8 beers, maybe 3 shots. Not too much. I mean, I'm doing all right tonight.
What's the shots you're drinking right now, Steve?
Well, you
at
know
your
what?
age.
Speaking of that, I think I'm going to have a shot of.
That's what we should. We should all start doing
I'll
shots.
grab a shot then.
Last man standing is.
Wait, a proper shot? I mean, I can still get a shot.
I'm too old to be playing that game.
I haven't got any spirits, so I can't
do that.
participate.
I just put a baked potato in the air fryer. So I got
look at you.
I want a baked potato.
30, 40 minutes before things start popping.
Good stuff.
Do you guys have McCain over there?
John? He died a few years ago.
No. As in, like, the brand McCain.
Oh.
Brand McCain.
McCain French fries? I remember those.
Yeah. Well, I've got the brand name McCain jacket potatoes in my freezer.
Yeah, I remember McCain fries.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man. Vodka and, the low-cal stuff for me.
Smooth rum.
Oh, sounds...
Need about 2 more beers, so I'll be right back.
So how have you been, Last Dance, apart from missing me on the stream on Friday?
Been pretty good.
I'll be right back.
Enjoying my retirement.
Enjoying your retirement. Are you one of them like retirement like sectors, like a cul-de-sac, and they're all swingers?
No, not even close.
That sucks.
Such things exist, you say?
Yeah, I hear so. Yeah.
No.
I mean, I hope so. When I'm old and fucking crazy, I want to be on one of them.
Sounds like it would require more energy than I actually have.
I don't know. Well, just get yourself VR. And all you can do is just like ignore everyone and just masturbate.
I got a message off Drone Tech the other day saying that
sounds like a good plan for the rest of my life.
Drone Tech's got an Oculus. He were asking me about VR chat.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Was he looking for a new fairy seat?
Maybe. He said he didn't know what to do, so I give him some advice.
Oh, I thought you had actually gone.
No, hell no.
Oh, good shit.
I'm here for the long haul.
What mic have you got, by the way? I've asked you this before, but
it's
I forgot.
A newer.
It's
yeah, it is.
T2D?
Newer.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Same as mine.
Similar. It's similar.
Yeah,
Yours
similar.
is a little different.
What have you got, Goon?
Me, I've got a HyperX at the moment. It's a piece of shit.
X, huh?
I was looking at getting one of those.
It just lights up. That's the only cool thing about it.
I was looking at getting a Blue Yeti, but I decided against it because I couldn't afford 90 quid.
Well, I'm thinking about getting a Shure SM7B, and they're like 300 quid, I guess. But I would use that to amp up my mic as well. Mic up my amp, even the other way around.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
There's a good
It has
YouTuber.
2 uses.
There's a good YouTuber called Podcastage, and he buys every single microphone there is and reviews them all from high end to low end.
Right. Okay.
And he goes through the whole thing. He goes distance, and then he does music, and he does everything for each.
Oh
microphone.
yeah. I'll check him out then, because if he does music as well, that's
he goes
what
through
I'm
the whole
looking
thing.
for.
He plays
Something
the same song with
versatile.
every mic, acoustic guitar, I think.
Cool.
Good,
All right.
good dude. But he reviewed this mic, and he was like, he's like, it was like $20 something with the boom and everything. He's like, if you're not looking for something special, there's not much I can say negative about it,
Sure. Yeah.
So I was like, sweet, that's what I need.
No, you sound good. That's why I asked. I was like,
Thanks, man.
I mean, yours is
not simping for you.
Thanks.
Yours
Yours
is a
the wrong
USB
idea.
mic.
Well,
Isn't
I'll
it,
private
Aphid?
message you a little bit later.
Aphid, yours is a USB version, isn't it?
Yes.
Whereas mine uses phantom power. And
Right.
It's a fucking nightmare to set
Yeah,
up.
this is just hooks into a USB port, and you're good to go. Good microphone talk there.
What is your...
Smokesteve, how you doing?
Good. I'm just reading some of the comments. I just getting caught up on some of the things that are being said over here. So I apologize.
Anything good?
No, just
Cup of
read
tea
the
really
bad ones
is cup of
out.
tea really bringing it tonight?
yeah, it's very much a downer from what I'm usually used
Is
to.
he upset that we're quitting?
No, I don't want to get into it. It's just there's some downer things going on, which
Go on, get into it. I want to know, because this sounds ominous right now. You're like, oh, I don't.
I don't know. Can you guys see the private chat?
The private chat?
Yes.
What's going on there?
In here, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's that's something, right? I read the first sentence.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was going on here, so that brings me down, I just, I try to avoid conflict. I don't know.
Well, then just don't address it if you don't feel comfortable with it.
I don't know. You guys tell me. What do I do?
It's your stream, dudes. I mean,
No, tell me.
I say it. Just say it. Like, it's not you that's saying it. It's not. It's nothing to do
No,
with
I'm
you,
not
bro.
saying
Is
that.
it?
That's crazy. That's not
But,
my place to say.
No. But I mean, reading out something, quoting somebody else.
I guess
It's not your views or anything else.
I guess because it's in the private chat, it stays there. It was intended to be private for the people who are on the board.
I guess. Yeah. That's
We'll
fair.
leave it at that. If it had been posted in the comments, which person is clearly in the comments, they could have done that, then I would read it or post it. But hopefully, post it there. So I don't
Doncaster
have
is
to.
near me. I
What?
don't know who's from Doncaster, but it's near me-ish.
That's me.
It's about 30, 40... What, you?
Yeah.
Are you a Doncaster lad?
He's a
That
donk.
place is a shithole. I hate it.
He's a donk.
I beg to differ.
I couldn't stand the place. It's full of scum.
See you later,
You've got
Paul.
is a pair of balls in
Good to
front of
see you,
a
buddy.
fucking mall.
Thanks for coming, Paul. You're the best. Wonderful guy. Tell me in Discord, LOL. All right,
I don't know what call means, but
Which city or town do you hail from, Goon?
huh?
Where are you at? He said.
Oh, my town, Spilsby. There you go.
Spilsby.
Try and find that cunt.
Spills.
No, it's a hot. Yeah, no, I'm not from there, but it's another place that ends in by. So,
Big,
and
I mean, we're
they
not
are
asking
all
for like a street address. It's more like I live in Massachusetts. You could just say you live in.
The Shire.
There you go.
One of the Shires.
Are you at least in Yorkshire?
No, lower than that. Just a bit lower, and then there you go.
Oh, Bostonshire, Lincolnshire.
Lancashire, yes. I
Lincolnshire.
live in Lancashire. I'll drink to that. Hold on. Here we go.
I mean, it's not like I mean, to people on our end, I don't really even have any fucking idea what the hell that means.
I just love the accent. It's good enough for me.
There's a good band called the Lancashire Hot Pots from the Lancashire.
Lincolnshire.
Yes.
So you guys, how would you say President Lincoln?
President Lincoln.
Lincoln, mate. It's fucking Lincoln, boys. You know.
President Lincoln.
LinkedIn?
I would say Lincoln, but I
Lincoln.
don't know what Fates is all about. But
That's hilarious.
If I was being correct, it'd be Lincoln.
Lincoln, okay.
Yeah, but being Yorkshire, it's Lincoln. Abe Lincoln.
That is crazy. What do we got here?
Oh. Wow.
All right.
Going here.
Oh,
what happened to Smokesteve? He
oh dear, he left
it up to us.
But
Yeah,
I wish we could.
That's a bad decision.
I wish we could pull in people, if they wanted to come into the show, because
We should pull anyone in that wants to join.
I would do it in a second.
But he did
I
not.
bet you
he
would,
did not
Dave.
end the stream.
The stream's still going, so we're technically on the loose right now.
We're on YouTube.
Yeah.
He'll be right back. He'll be right back.
We should really use this to our advantage right now.
Yep. Let's say all the banned things that will get him in trouble.
I am this and that and that and this.
It reminds me of some jokes that I've heard recently.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
I kicked myself out. No kidding. That was great. I was
Well
like,
done.
what happened? Did I end it? Nope, it's still happening. That was.
Oh, the
was
shit
great.
show's still going on. What? No.
I don't even really know what I did. I just was gone. I touched something. It's like finger just kind of went up there and touched. Boom, gone.
You sound like Cheech or Chong right now. You're like, I just pressed the thing, man. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, that's what happened. Literally, gonzo. I'm thinking I'll smoke a
But
little
welcome
more
back,
grass.
Steve.
Thank you. Thank you.
To your own stream.
It was nice. It was happening to be gone. The pressure was gone. So, what are we on now? Goon here. Tell me in Discord, Mr. Kelsey won. Yeah, it sounds like we're nearing the end. Are we nearing the end here?
Well,
What's happening?
I'll let other
Guess,
people.
unless you have
Topple's back.
something to talk about.
Yeah, we're nearing the end. Okay, we're
Oh,
near.
Topple's back? He might breathe life back into the stream. Let's go, Top.
What's GC?
Fucking GC isn't here yet.
Georgia County?
No, general contractor. Yeah, he's right. That happens all the time.
Oh, he's all pissed off that he's just sat around doing fuck all right now.
Yep, he's just
Yeah,
waiting.
I mean,
Uh.
they might be showing him the scope of the job. Who knows what he's doing there, but GC.
Oh no! Have you ever been to them jobs where the gates are shut and you're like, "Well, I've got to do a job here."
Yeah.
Fuck it, we got to jump the gates and just do our job. We did that once in Scotland. We were coming home. We got a phone call half the way home, which is like an 8-hour journey, so 4 hours into our journey, to come back. So it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, all right. To get shouted at by the farmer's son going in his, Scottish accent, which I can't do, but he was basically very colourful in his language of telling us how we didn't do our job. And we're like, mate, we broke into your company just to do our job. He's like, really? Then he phones up and then gets some guy down there, and he's like, oh, holy shit, yeah, you have done the job. I'm like, yeah, fucking we have. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, let me buy you a drink. And it's 2 a.m, and he's offering to buy us a drink. We're like, yeah, fuck it, okay, if you could buy us a drink, yeah.
Well, I mean, the fact that he offered to get you a drink gets points. I mean, there's guys who would just tell you to fuck off.
Oh, they would, yeah. They'd be like, oh, you've done the job. All right, go fuck off. And you're like, oh,
exactly.
Just drove all this fucking way.
I mean, the drink is definitely, it's a nice gesture, right?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'll take that any day. And you're probably an IT guy, I would guess.
No, I was, wow. No, it was engineer. Basically, it's farmyard and waste cycle shit. So that's what I did.
Not bad.
I was in waste recycling once.
What? You sat on a toilet?
I used to smash window frames up to recover plastics and metals from window frames.
So you were a pikey then?
No, my boss was.
Did you break up places to get like copper wiring as well?
What was his name?
I know you're fucking tight.
Andy...
Going around in your
Andy...
vans. Any scrap metal? Any scrap metal?
I think his name was Andy Wilkinson. I think his name was the boss.
I knew an Andy Wilkinson as well. So. No shit, I did as well.
Is it a common name there?
Apparently so.
There's at least two.
Yeah. And they're both fucking grimy fuckers that want to steal your copper.
Right.
Gotta be the same guy.
I was during my 2 months there. I was relegated to tea making for 2 months, for like a month of it.
Unbelievable.
I felt rather like entitled that I only had to make tea for everyone.
You had to make what?
Cups of tea and coffee.
Oh.
I didn't have to waste all my energy smashing window frames up for nearly a month because I made the best cups of tea and coffee.
I'm
So
surprised
you were
that they
basically the bitch at the office.
Pretty much, yeah. But it got me out of some hard graft.
All right,
It's probably because they started asking you to stop wearing the furry suits to work. Kind of freaked them out a little bit.
I have never in my entire life worn an actual furry suit.
Oh,
Never once.
I don't believe that.
Not even so much as a furry ear set.
That's crazy.
£1
Here we thought you were Mr. Furry, so it's interesting. No, you're not.
I play a furry as a game character occasionally in a game.
Yeah, here's an interesting thing Topple's bringing up. Like, Biden's been talking about some of these crime sprees and making a correlation to legal guns, even though a lot of these crime sprees, they're using illegally sourced firearms. So how does it make sense to take firearms away from a legally bearing citizen who's never committed a crime in his life because some fucking asshole in New York City killed 2 cops?
With an illegal gun.
Doesn't have to make sense. That's not the point.
Now, this is where us as Americans really should fight for our rights, because that shit is ridiculous.
I understand that sentiment that it's like prohibition. It doesn't work. If you make things illegal, they just become illegal. It doesn't change the fact of the matter, does it?
No. The fascination of guns in the United States is not unhealthy, and it's
I don't think it's a. I think saying it's a fascination is the wrong word. I think it's
it is
a hobby. No, it's more of a hobby or a
pastime.
right to defend yourself. You know, like there's some people that's out there that doesn't like the idea of using a gun, but they have it just because of self-defense.
Well,
I think.
I mean, if you've ever watched Kentucky Ballistics, the shooting channel, or
I watch
Hickok 45 or
Demolition Ranch.
Demolition Ranch, they're all amazing and they're all highly entertaining. And it's like there's.
But on the same side, Demolition Ranch, the owner of that is also a fully licensed vet.
Brandon Herrera.
Yeah, he's a.
I was going to say Brandon Herrera. Well. He's fully licensed with his company, isn't he, to fire fully automatic weapons, which people believe that anybody can get, but it's not. It's a class for a company, I believe.
Class 3.
Yeah. And not individuals can have it. Like, he can't take these guns home with him. They have to stay on company business because it's a fully automatic,
ranch, right?
And his
company
him
is the
personally, him personally isn't allowed to fire or own these weapons. It's a company-owned weapon.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah, I mean, that being said, a semi-automatic high volume rifle that can really, you can lay down some fire with some of those babies with a good scope. I mean,
well, he's got 50 BMG rifles that nobody's got the need for.
Oh yeah, the AK-50 cal. Yeah. We all know.
And what about the big, massive 50 BMG that he blasts watermelons with? You know, the massive caliber bullets.
Yeah. He's making his own AK-50 cal, and it's.
Oh Jesus, I've not seen that.
It's been going on for like a year or two, and it's beautiful.
I think it was a Beretta 50 cal that he had that I saw.
He's making his own AK. Kalashnikov 50 cal, and it's firing and everything. It's beautiful.
Will it be running Magnum rounds? I would imagine.
No. 50 cal BMG.
What?
50 BMG rounds. Yeah. There's cycling and everything.
Jesus.
Through that thing. Yeah.
The cycling alone would blow your arm off.
Well, no. They to start with, they actually, had like a rope behind the trigger and pulled it. They weren't doing that by hands.
No.
It was all like sheet metal fucking receivers and stuff.
It's hard enough to shoulder a 50 BMG weapon and fire it one at a time, but having it going one after another.
Oh yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Oh no! It's not a semi-automatic. It's just an AK gun.
Yeah.
With 50 cal BMG going through.
Well, it's It's the same as the Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
But it's shaped like an AK, but the same as the Barrett 50.
But it uses, the AK sort of like signature where it's gas powered and it's got like the receiver. He's trying to put everything into place.
I mean, gas powered is a misnomer. It's gas operated because it just recycles the gas from the previous shot.
That's yeah.
Which operates the bolt and fires it forward and blah, 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 ejects the next one. I mean, you guys have a basic understanding of how it works, I'm sure.
Of course we do. We're British, yeah. We have Greek gun laws over here.
Well, I've still got a basic understanding of how a gun cycles.
So you know that there's
the gas pulls the bolt back. The magazine feeds another round in. Before, obviously, the casing of the other one's been ejected, and then the magazine pushes another one in. Then the bolt pushes the bullet back into the barrel.
right, and there's a spring involved there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty simplified. So when they say the 50 BMG, that is the 50 caliber Browning machine gun, which we would all know as the Ma Duke, which you've seen on the back of like Humvees and tanks.
With the big metal like square thing on end of barrel.
2 hands on the thing. It has triggers, and the guys are shooting like. So this Barrett guy decided to take this round that they use on the back of a huge machine gun to shoot down planes or anti-personnel or anti-vehicle. He took that round and put it in a rifle, and that's what they call the 50 BMG, which is the 50 Browning machine gun round put into a civilian rifle. Some people have a problem with that, because if you happen to be of the mindset to shoot down an airplane or something, now this would be the rifle you would want to get, because this fucking thing is badass, and it will shoot out the engine of a plane. Now,
you're on about the Barrett. Sorry, I just got back.
I mean, if you was using that
no,
the
Steve, you were on about the Barrett. Just saying.
Yeah, yes, that round, the 50 BMG, the Browning machine gun round, the 50 caliber. You know,
what would you use it in civil life for? You can't really use it for self-defense because it's too heavy. You can't use it for hunting because it just obliterate whatever.
No, you could definitely use it for large mammal like
deer or like.
No,
ducks,
you'd be looking at more like maybe like hippopotamus
elk?
or elk. Maybe elk. I'm talking like African elephant, like huge. You know, like
you wouldn't need that size to kill a moose, would you?
What a moose? It would be too much for a moose. You'd want to
unless it was a fucking 6 foot like honcho moose that was swole as fuck.
Yeah, but you could kill that with a general is it a 4.56 round?
No, they use like what's called the Lapua, 339 or whatever. But
yeah,
those moose don't run away, and they're not really going to kill you. They just stand there, so you can pretty much just shoot it right through the lungs, and it's going to die. It's not really much of a sport. The elephants and the rhinos and the hippopotamuses, like you could possibly make an argument for a 50 BMG in that setting, but
it's gonna go through, and it's just the energy is gonna blow the shit out the other side of what you hit.
The other thing is you have none of those animals in your country.
No.
Well, just import them. Fuck it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a rare.
Let's Joe Exotic this shit and just import.
I would say the 50 BMG is a range gun. It's solely for range and show off.
Yeah, it's like range show off or military purposes.
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Shooting the shit out of the tracks of a plank.
And they do use that. There are Marine snipers and SEAL snipers. They all use that, and they love it. And that's totally a very legitimate thing. But this guy, the Barrett guy, he wants to make some dough, so he's obviously made it available to the general public. So if 3 or 5 or 7 or, I'm not kidding, like 10 grand, guys will drop for one of these, 20 grand. That's money to this guy, and he's an entrepreneur. If the country allows it,
have you seen that one where the BMG and it's a fixed thing where it sits on your shoulder, so you can like fire it right crouched, and it's like got this curvature? Have you not seen that?
I haven't. I think that might be the bullpup.
Are you talking about the guns that are on back of a
Yeah, I think it's the bullpup version of it.
Bullpup,
but it sits over the shoulder, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But it's like
That
There's
has
got
the
to be a
trigger.
market for that.
That has the trigger in front of the bolt. So
Of the ball, yeah. So it's a bullpup, yeah.
So the half the action of the firing of the round is actually happening behind your hand.
Yeah.
So it can be like a two-foot rifle, or seemingly with this.
Mate, I'm British. We all know about the bullpup. We tried to introduce it so much.
It was called the
since
Biz.
World War II.
It was
We were
the bullpup
trying
was
to
called the-
find a bullpup.
It was called the Biz in Splinter Cell.
It's hilarious.
Well, no, we got the SA-80, which was fine. Then we got the L-81, which was a piece of shit. And if you got the single piece of dust in it, it wouldn't fire. It would just...
The one I'm talking, I think it's the P90.
Oh.
That's a pistol, yeah. That's
No,
not a
the
bullpup.
P90 bullpup. It's a bullpup rifle. It's like got like it's got like two circular things near the front of the gun, where the trigger is, and your hand is near the front, and then it's like a big square block.
Not
All right.
All right, I'm out of here, guys. Take care.
Aphid.
See you,
Always
buddy.
good to see you guys.
All right, take care, Aphid.
I'll see you Friday.
Cheers. Yeah, I hope so.
Friday, Aphid, yeah. I will be.
All right. Last Dance got on the calendar, so it better happen.
See you then.
What I live for every week.
Aw. Oh, now that makes me feel bad that I didn't stream the other day.
Well, good.
Yesterday.
Fuck you.
There you go. You're not feeling so bad now.
No, not now.
Well, the theory was that you had pulled an all-nighter the day before. That was tossed around.
This is that tossed around. Just a shitty week. Just a load of shit thrown at me at once. And it's like,
All right, no problem.
I can't deal with this shit. I just need some time.
Yeah, no problem, dude. We all get there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's normal, completely.
Oh, yeah. I would say, but if we're on stream, I'm not going to say, but off stream, yeah, I'm on.
All right, let's end this bad boy, and we'll go off stream for now.
Okay.
All right, good night, YouTube.
Night,
Later.
everybody.
Good night, you sexy fuckers.
Hey, take care, Tesla Rocks.
See you, everybody.
Then